It is a football Friday night. This is high school football, Alabama's After the Game. John Holder with you, as we said, on a beautiful football Friday night. The show presented by the Calhoun County Commission. We've got a loaded show coming up. Highlights from all across East Alabama, from all the big games across the region. We also have the head coach of the Jacksonville Christian Thunder, Tommy Miller, live in studio. The head coach of the Jacksonville Golden Eagles, Clint Smith, will be with us. We have the head coach of the White Plains Wildcats, Blake Jennings. He will be with us. And we've got the mighty Munford Lion cheerleaders. They will be with us tonight as well, and a whole lot more. All the scores, all the highlights, all the information you need about high school football in East Alabama. Right now, we're going to jump into our scoreboard and get you up to date on a lot of scores across East Alabama as we take you to our USA Softball of Alabama scoreboard. We'll have highlights of this game tonight. Piedmont had never lost to Westbrook, and that remains true tonight. This was a hype game. We're going to show you a video a little bit later on. I was there at the game tonight. We'll show you Steve Smith walking into the field of champions for the first time ever tonight as a visiting coach. We'll also show you highlights of the game. It was an emotional game tonight, but Piedmont, a huge win. As far as Class 3A Region 6, they needed the win just from region play. In addition to beating their old coach, Piedmont tonight, a winner over Westbrook Christian, 35-19. Piedmont 35, Westbrook Christian 19. Highlights of that game on the way. We mentioned the head coach of the White Plains Wildcats, Coach Blake Jennings. Not only the first win for White Plains tonight, but the first win of his coaching career. He's the first-year head coach, first time as a head coach, and they beat Talladega tonight. A happy homecoming out at Robertson Field at White Plains. White Plains 43, Talladega 29. White Plains led big. Talladega, to their credit, brings it back. It makes it somewhat closer, but White Plains still wins by 2 touchdowns, 43-29. We'll have highlights of this game coming from last night at Lynchfield in Donahoe. Winterboro comes in with a dominating performance over the Donahoe Falcons. They win 47-6 over Donahoe. We'll have highlights of that game from last night up on 10th Street Mountain at Donahoe. The game of the night. Number 9 Oxford at home at Lamar Field. A back-and-forth game with Pell City. Pell City jumped out to a 10-0 lead. Oxford goes back up 21-10 with 21 unanswered points. Pell City comes back. They take the lead in the game, 25-21, with 15 more unanswered points. But Oxford wins at the end of the game. This game literally came down to the final play. Coach Michael Short was there all the way to the end. We'll have highlights of this game. Number 9 Oxford beats Pell City tonight, but it was anything but easy. Number 9 Oxford beating Pell City 28-25 in what is blossoming to be a huge high school football rivalry in the coming years. But Oxford wins tonight 28-25. Highlights of this game also coming. Walter Welborn on the hill. They led this game 56-12 at halftime, and they beat Childersburg, a huge win over the Childersburg Tigers in Class 3A Region 4. Walter Welborn 56, Childersburg 28. Congratulations to Welborn head coach Jeff Smith. He's now won more football games than any coach in Walter Welborn High School history. Hanley and Anniston tonight. Number 6 Hanley at home. They get revenge. Last year, Anniston blew them out at Anniston. Tonight at Wright Field in Roanoke, number 6 Hanley, they blow out Anniston. They return the favor, beating the Bulldogs tonight 39-6. Hanley firmly in control now of the region race in Class 4A Region 4. Randolph County tonight, they come in to take on the Sacs Wildcats, and they win the game over Sacs by a score of 35-14. Randolph County 35, Sacs 14. This was a close game. We'll try to get that graphic back up for you in just a moment. But Randolph County did win the game over Sacs 35-14 tonight. Geraldine and Ohatchee. We'll move on to that one as well. Geraldine tonight, a winner over Ohatchee, 55-6. We will have highlights of this game. Geraldine, the number 9 team in the state in 3A. Really a surprise, though. Not that Geraldine won the game, but how Geraldine won it, 55-6 over Ohatchee tonight on the Creek Bank at Ohatchee. Highlights of that game coming. We'll also show you some footage. They named the stadium tonight at Ohatchee for longtime Ohatchee former coach, the late Reagan Clark. And we'll bring you some highlights of that stadium dedication tonight but on the field, not good for the Ohatchee Indians. It's number 9 Geraldine beats Ohatchee 55-6 tonight. Another barn burner. This was much the same as the Oxford and Pell City game. Alexandria, St. Clair County tonight. Death Valley and Alexandria. Alexandria trying to win their first game of the season. It was close. Alexandria ended the game on the St. Clair County 17-yard line, but Alexandria falls tonight. St. Clair County comes into Death Valley. They beat Alexandria 36-31 the final. St. Clair County 36, Alexandria 31 tonight from out at Death Valley in Alexandria. Jacksonville, number 7 team in the state in 4A, at home tonight at Golden Eagle Stadium. We'll speak with the head coach of the Golden Eagles, Coach Clint Smith, live right here on After the Game. Jacksonville beating Cleburne County tonight 63-14. Jacksonville 63, Cleburne County 14. Still looking for a final score in this game tonight. It was 66-20 in the third quarter when we left Tommy Miller Stadium. Head coach of the Jacksonville Christian Thunder, Coach Tommy Miller, will join us live here on the show. This game was taking a long time to play because there was so much scoring. There was 86 points scored in the first half. We'll show you the homecoming queen at JCA a little bit later on, show you highlights of this game. JCA firmly in command in the third quarter. They were leading Success Unlimited out of Montgomery 66-20. Locust Fork tonight, number 10 team in the state in 2A. They opened it up tonight. A buzzsaw is what Pleasant Valley ran into tonight on Locust Fork. Locust Fork 61, Pleasant Valley 6 tonight over in Blount County at Locust Fork. Vincent and Ranburne still looking for a final on that game from down in Shelby County at Vincent. Woodland and Central of Coosa tonight as we take a look at games taking place in Class 2A Region 4. Vincent Ranburne still looking for a final on that one. And then Woodland and Central of Coosa tonight. If we can go to that one, still looking for a final score on that game. Tonight, Central of Clay County continues to roll along as they beat Valley 47-0. The Vols had never lost to Valley. A good Valley team coming in, a lot of athletes, but Central of Clay County dominant once again. They're now 6-0, number 3 in the state in 5A. They pretty much have the region wrapped up. Central of Clay County over Valley 47-0 tonight. Sylacauga and Beauregard still looking for a final on that game from Legion Stadium in Sylacauga. BB Comer, number 1 team in the state in Class 2A, on the road at Maplesville tonight, taking on the Isabella Mustangs, still looking for a final there. Thorsby and Fayetteville, that was still looking for a final score on that game tonight, and that game is being played over at Thorsby. Scores still coming in tonight. I've got one that they don't have. We'll show to you in a minute. Florida School for the Deaf and Alabama School for the Deaf, they'll play tomorrow in St. Augustine, Florida. This score just coming in, Spring Garden has beaten Talladega County Central 51-23. Spring Garden 51, Talladega County Central 23. That is a final score from down at Howells Cove tonight down in Talladega County. Lincoln and Munford, the Munford High School cheerleaders will join us here momentarily. But we do have a final score in the game of Lincoln tonight. I call it the East Alabama Iron Bowl. Lincoln tonight, a winner over Munford, 29-17 at Keith Howard Memorial Stadium in Lincoln. Ragland and Victory Christian. Ragland leading in this game. I don't think we have a final yet. Ragland was leading Victory 53-14. Ragland 53 and Victory 14. That was in the second half of the game. That is not a final, so we'll try to get you there. All right, and Moody beating Springville tonight 28-17. Moody beating Springville 28-17 tonight, the final score in that game. We'll have a lot of other finals coming your way in just a moment. We're going to take a break, and we'll come back as we will continue with more final scores as high school football Alabama's After the Game rolls on a Football Friday night.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
After 15 years of supplying top quality, name brand sports equipment and team apparel to hundreds of Alabama schools, coaches, and athletes, and continuing to provide custom uniforms, embroidery, and screen printing, Team Sports is adding a new player. Coming soon, McClellan Sports and Outdoors. Whether you're an athlete in search of football helmets, bats, or even cleats, or an outdoor enthusiast in search of apparel from top brands, McClellan Sports and Outdoors has you covered. Visit McClellansports.com for more information.
My dad taught me to fish right here years ago. But when an old sports injury started slowing him down, I knew we'd need to search for the latest procedures in knee and hip replacement. With physical therapy tailored to his needs, a dedicated team of doctors and nurses, and he'd want a fast recovery time. So where'd he find all that?
Right here at RMC.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at PeeWeeTurnerMotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Back on high school football, Alabama's After the Game, presented by the folks at the Calhoun County Commission. Anniston Orthopedics, let's tell you about their Saturday morning sports clinic, 8 a.m. tomorrow morning at the Tyler Center. All athletes, not just football players, volleyball, cross country, whatever's in season. You will see an orthopedic doctor, get x-rays if needed. Most importantly, get back on the field as soon as possible. Don't worry about it over the weekend. Don't have to wait till Monday. You just come down to Anniston Orthopedics at the Tyler Center every Saturday morning at 8 for all high school athletes who may be suffering from an injury over the weekend, and they will take good care of you. Right now, we're going to take you back to our USA Softball of Alabama scoreboard and finish out giving you some more final scores. The Ragland score is final. Ragland tonight at home at Joan Ford Stadium in Ragland. They beat Victory Christian 59-17. Moody tonight remains undefeated in region play in Class 5A Region 6. Number 5 team in the state in Class 5A. Moody at Springville tonight at Tiger Stadium. They beat a much improved Tiger team 28-17. Fultondale and Asheville tonight playing over in Fultondale in Jefferson County. Still looking for a final of that game. North Sand Mountain and Sandrock, this is a final. North Sand wins tonight. The Bison win over Sandrock 47-28. Woodville with the best season in school history. Look at the Panthers, 5-1. They beat Galesville tonight 23-6, the final from up in Jackson County. Valley Head and Cedar Bluff. Valley Head wins at Cedar Bluff tonight 44-20, the final. Holly Pond breaks a 20-game losing streak. I understand they're rolling the trees. No kidding, folks, in Holly Pond right now. Holly Pond beats the Gaston Bulldogs 50-14 tonight. Hoax Bluff, big win tonight. Legendary coaches Mike Robertson and Dale Pruitt playing tonight in Rainsville. Hoax Bluff goes in. They beat Plainview 28-14, the final. Last night, a game that was moved from Friday night to Thursday night. Number 8 in 3A Sylvania, another key game in that rugged Class 3A Region 6. Sylvania comes in to Wilson Darnell Field in Glencoe. They beat Glencoe last night 56-20, the final. Southside are reigning Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. I was at Southside today at 9:30 for the prayer breakfast, and Coach Miles Holcomb and his staff tell me how many injuries they had, like 11 guys out with injuries. Did not matter. Look at Southside tonight. Now 6-1. They've won 6 in a row, and they knock out number 6 Leeds tonight. Southside 23, Leeds 13. Congratulations to the Southside Panthers. Gadsden City set a school record tonight. The Titans at home at Titan Stadium blasting winless Hazel Green. Gadsden City wins the game 69-0. Etowah and Aniana, this is finally over with. This game was a long game tonight over at Jim Glover Field in Attala. Number 9 Aniana behind Fluff Bothwell. They beat the Etowah Blue Devils 62-36. Sardis tonight, a winner over rival Douglas 35-21. Statewide games tonight. Pickens County and Lynn, still no final score on that 1A game at Reform tonight in West Alabama. 2A in South Alabama, Luverne and Highland Home playing tonight. Still looking for a final on that one. Big game in 5A tonight was at Chorbalee Stadium in Gunnersville, and Gunnersville remains undefeated as they beat Scottsboro tonight by a score of 20-6. Hopefully we've got that. Gunnersville 20, Scottsboro 6, the final score in that game. Not sure if we've got any more final scores here. And Gunnersville beating Scottsboro 20-6. Also, go ahead and tell you tonight, Muscle Shoals and Hartselle. This was probably the game of the night tonight across the state. This game went to double overtime at J.P. Kane Stadium in Hartselle. Muscle Shoals, number 4, beating number 5 Hartselle tonight, 55-49 in double overtime. Central Phoenix City and Dothan playing tonight down at Garrett Stadium in Phoenix City. Number 1 versus number 7 in 7A. No final on that one. And Thompson bounces back after that loss last week to Clay Chalkville. Thompson fell to number 2 in the state in Class 7A, but they go to Trussville tonight, and they beat number 6 Hewitt Trussville. No problem as the Thompson Warriors win it 40-14. A lot going on this football Friday night. We mentioned legendary coaches earlier, talking about Dale Pruitt of Plainview and Mike Robertson of the Hoax Bluff High School Eagles. We've got another legendary coach joining us right now, head coach of the Jacksonville Christian Thunder, Coach Tommy Miller. His team tonight, big winners, which was 6-29 tonight. We were there for part of that. Congratulations, as your team remains undefeated.
Yes, it was. They came up from Montgomery, and of course they've had a rough year, and we got on them early, and so but they played a better second half. We didn't score on them in the second half, so they played a better second half.
Well, you didn't have any problem scoring. We got there, Coach, and it was 42-6, and you were actually in the process of scoring and kicking an extra point as we walked in the stadium to make it 49-6 in that game, and then. You just kept on scoring from there. And there was still, at that point in time, there was still 8 minutes to go in the half. So you had already scored 49 points and not even halfway through the second quarter.
That's true. And, of course, right there, right before the half, we had an 8th grader that we, of course, had subs in. We had an 8th grader intercept a pass and returned it all the way for a touchdown. We had a kickoff. We returned a kickoff for a touchdown. So things went right tonight. So next week, we're going to need a lot of those things to go right. But they went right tonight.
Well, you were telling me that Cornerstone out of Rainsville is coming down to play at your place, and you were telling me you think this might be the toughest game in the Christian Football Association this year.
In our conference, it's definitely the toughest game for us. We've gone through some teams that were pretty good football teams, Tuscaloosa, and of course Russell and Meridian, but Cornerstone is sitting right there where if we're going to be the 1 and 2 seeds in our playoffs. So whoever wins next week will be the 1 seed.
Coach, explain the playoffs, because the playoffs, you take basically the top 4 teams in the regular season make it. So you have the semifinals, you have the finals. Finals in Tuscaloosa again this year?
They will be in Tuscaloosa. The first round, we will play at home in the first round. And then if we make it to the finals, we're going to have to go to Tuscaloosa to play.
All right, and so the way it's looking right now is top 2 seeds going to play each other next week. So this might be possibly a preview of the championship. Maybe, possibly?
It's possible. It's possible. I would take that right now.
So your regular season, one thing that most folks may not know about this is, Coach, you started like August the 12th, I think it was, something like that. Yeah. You started on August the 12th with your first game, the regular season game, not a jamboree. So you started about 2 weeks earlier than everybody else started around East Alabama, but you're ending earlier as well. How do you feel? Do you like that or not like that?
It's those first couple of games are
Hot.
terrible. They are, and we hope we can get that adjusted a little bit for next year. But they were tough. But we came out of it good. We don't want to change anything now. I mean, we were winners, so we came out of it good.
Well, the way the weather's been, Coach, you may not play a game in cold weather this year. You may win the state championship and not even play in anything more than shorts as far as the fans coming to the games.
That's true. That's all those young assistants I had were laughing at me for putting on a jacket tonight when it got below 70. But you're right. That's perfect football weather in the 60s, 50s and 60s. So we may not get down there this year.
Coach, you were our Team of the Week last week, and we were out there at your place, and you were getting ready for homecoming. And I know we have this conversation all the time. No coach really likes homecoming from a football perspective. Obviously, homecoming doesn't appear was a big distraction for you this year.
Well, it was a distraction somewhat, but you could ask these two guys with me. I harped on it all week long about how you can get beat so quickly on homecoming if you lose your focus. And I think we were able to
mention a couple players with you. We're going to show these guys at this time over here on our screen and tell us about these two guys, and then use this opportunity, Coach, to tell us about your entire team this year. Folks want to get an idea about this JCA Thunder team in 2023. Let's begin with these two guys right here.
We'll start with the tall one there on the other side, Jesse Gainaway. Jesse started this game tonight. Great. He had a great start. He had an interception return, and he had touchdown. I can't remember how many touchdowns he had, but I know he had a touchdown pass and kicked several extra points and kicked a field goal.
I was there for the field goal. We're going to show that later on in the show when we get to the JCA highlights. He's as good a kicker as I've seen this year, Coach, anywhere.
He kicked the ball really well tonight. He did. And then Dion is our center and nose guard, and Dion I don't think he's had a bad game. He plays very hard. He's a leader senior, one of our two seniors, and he's had a really good year, and he's been a very good leader this year. He's really helped us in that category. But Dion's hard to move in the middle. He's a big guy, and he also gives Noah a lot of protection in there too. So
I saw him playing, I think, Coach, maybe a little middle linebacker.
I stuck him in there for that. He's been begging to do
that. Yeah.
And he talked me into it tonight. I let him get back there for a few plays tonight.
I did catch that. You talked about him being a leader. He was fired up after a couple of big tackles, even though y'all were ahead at that time, 56-12 or something like that at that point in time. He was making tackles, and he was really fired up and firing his team up. And he appears to be a real vocal leader of the team.
He is. And both of these guys played really well tonight. Noah and Travis had good games. I think Noah had 5 touchdown passes. I don't remember how many of those. I think Travis had 2 or 3 touchdown catches. I know he had a touchdown run, probably 40 yards or more, on just an end sweep. All 4 of those guys had real good game. And of course, we've got some 10th graders. We've got Shepard is our left guard or right guard. The left guard, he's a 9th grader, and our right guard is a 10th grader. And then our backfield is a quarterback is a 10th grader, and our fullback is a 11th grader. Of course, Travis is our tailback. He's a senior. All those guys played well tonight.
Awesome. Coach, what would it mean? I know you don't want to look ahead. You got Cornerstone. What you're telling me, probably going to play Cornerstone twice this year. What would it mean to this school and this program to?
Well, it would mean a whole lot. Years ago we won 3 in a 10-year span. We won 3 8-man championships, and then we were out of it for 10 years playing 11-man ball. And then when we've gone back in it, we have not won a championship yet. We did get to the finals last year and got beat. Russell, who has won 6 or 7, I think it's 6 or 7 championships in a row in our conference. We beat them over there in Meridian a couple of weeks ago, but they're still tough. They're really tough. Tuscaloosa Christian is really tough, and Cornerstone has beaten both of those two teams too. So that it looks to me like that those teams, those four, are probably going to be the top four. Tabernacle still has an outside chance of getting in, but things would have to fall in place for them to make it.
Coach, before I let you get out of here, get these guys home. It's homecoming. They might want to go. I know there's a big event going on out in Weaver somewhere, big dance and chili supper and all that going on. I just tell about the Jack. There is a community. People may not believe this with private schools, but there is a community. JCA has a community, and tonight the place was standing room only on the JCA side. Great crowd, folks everywhere. Unbelievable crowd tonight. Before we get out of here, just talk about the community that you have and the support you have at Jacksonville Christian.
It's more of a family atmosphere at JCA, and I mean, that's really the way it seems. And like tonight with homecoming, I mean, we had from K4 up through the 12th grade kids represented. And all the folks just came out and supported those girls in the homecoming court, supported the football team. They're great support for the football team in all sports. Our volleyball team played in a county tournament in the morning. They'll have good support there. So it is a community, but it's a family feeling in the school and in the sports program.
I absolutely. Being up there last week when we presented the Ted's Fords and Beyond Team of the Week, just a really wholesome, great family atmosphere. Felt very, very welcome there. Coach, you're undefeated, headed for the state playoffs of the Christian Football Association, and just all kind of good things happening. Thank you for coming. Thank you for bringing these young guys and showing them off as well. Best wishes to you. And when we get off in this break, I got a proposal for you. I'm not going to let the folks know yet, but I got a proposal for you that I'm going to talk with you about when we get off here. But right now, we're going to take it to break. Before we do, though, we want to tell you about the folks at RMC. We're coming to you tonight from the RMC Media Center here at Parker Memorial Baptist Church on Quintard Avenue in Anniston. Parker Memorial Baptist Church is doing a great job of hosting us here at the RMC Media Center. This is the Noble Bank and Trust post-game presser with Coach Tommy Miller. Let me tell you about the folks at RMC. If you're looking for primary care, they've got the right care, and they have it in Anniston, in Oxford, in Jacksonville, and in Randolph County, in Roanoke. You can learn more at rmccares.org/family medicine. More of High School Football Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission, in just a moment.
The Coosa Valley, on the banks of the Coosa River in Gadsden, Alabama. Fishing, boating, and paddling, and home to Team One Chevrolet. Team One Chevy has been serving generations for years. Even the grandkids are grown. Come by and see why so many people come back to Team One Chevy in Gadsden.
Home of the best people, the best service, period.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch. The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated.
Dedicated.
dedicated to what moves you.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. A place to use the gifts and talents God has given you. A place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Aniston. Visit our website for details.
Team Sports brings you the Team Sports highlights. Team Sports is located on McClellan. They also give our jersey to our F&M Bank Player of the Week each week. We gave one of those to Jordan Bryan, the quarterback over at Southside. You'll see that a little bit later on in the program today. But let me tell you, Team Sports, they're about to open their brand new storefront on McClellan in Aniston, right out there by the Aquatic Center. They're going to open very soon. Great place to have everything you need in sporting goods equipment. They're serving over 100 high schools in the state of Alabama. Team Sports, whether you're a school or whether you are just an individual and you're looking for great sporting goods, Team Sports is the way to go for your high school, or I should say your sporting goods needs. Team Sports bringing you the Team Sports highlights, which we have a lot of coming up on this football Friday night. And right now we're going to give you updated on a lot of scores that have just come in, basically kind of heading down Talladega County way with a lot of scores and over to Shelby County. So let's run through a bunch of scores here that have just come in as we go back to our USA Softball of Alabama scoreboard. Vincent tonight beat Ranburne 33-20 over at Vincent. Woodland tonight a winner over Central of Coosa over at Sewell Field at Woodland 38-13. Central Clay County, we gave you this earlier. They beat the Valley Rams tonight 47-0. How about Sylacauga? They haven't won a game yet, but Chris Smelly's got the Aggies playing, almost beat Beauregard tonight. Beauregard escapes with a 39-38 win at Legion Stadium in Sylacauga. BB Comer continues to roll, the #1 team in 2A. We thought they might get a challenge over in Maplesville tonight against the Isabella Mustangs. Didn't happen. BB Comer 47, Isabella 13, the final. Fayetteville ran into a buzzsaw as well over in Chilton County as Thorsby beat Fayetteville 61-21. Florida School for the Deaf and ASD, as we said, that's tomorrow down in Florida. And we gave you this score verbally, but we didn't give you the graphically. Spring Garden tonight won over Talladega County Central 51-23 down at Alumni Field at TCC tonight. Well, we promised you that we would bring you the head coach of the Jacksonville High School Golden Eagles, Coach Clint Smith, with us. Also, Coach Michael Short joins us for the first time tonight here on High School Football Alabama's After the Game as we continue with our Noble Bank and Trust post-game presser. And Coach Smith is in with us. Coach, when we reach over and shake your hand. Coach, welcome back in tonight. You were at the barn burner. We're going to talk about tonight at LeVar Field at Oxford. Coach, you didn't have a barn burner. Your team, again, played very well tonight, jumped out to a big lead and beat Cleveland County, won another game in 4A Region 4, 63-14 tonight up at Golden Eagle Stadium.
Yeah, we huge region win for us is we're trying to fight for that hosting spot, and so really proud of our guys. Came out, established ourselves very early, built us a lead, had a good lead at halftime, and then was able to to kind of get some young guys in the second half and then play some guys. So that was really big. But really proud of our coaches, our players, our community. Just a great win tonight at Golden Eagle Stadium. And he thought we played well on both sides of the ball. Did a really good job of putting the points we needed up and really playing some really good defense. The past 2 weeks with Ohatchee and with Heflin, it was kind of you know, two offenses that you don't normally see, you know, week in and week out, with Ohatchee and the Dirty Eagle last week, and then, you know, Heflin with the wing tee and the straight tee formation that you just don't see as much as you used to. And so really proud of, you know, defensively it was a key for us to get off the field and you know, get our offense the ball, and we were able to do that, and just really proud of the effort.
Coach, you know, this was a bigger win, I think, below the surface than most folks thought it was, because you mentioned home field advantage. Tonight was a big night for that because of a couple of things that happened. One, Cleveland County was 2-0 in region play, and you beat them, so that's a big win there. And then combined with what happened down in Roanoke tonight, with Hanley beating Anniston, you're in really good position with those two things that happened tonight to securing that home field advantage in the playoffs.
I think it was a big key, you know, to host the first round, especially this year matching up with Region 1, which is the Mobile region. You know, that's a tough trip for anybody to have to make, and you know, regardless who finishes first through fourth is going to have a pretty good first round game. All those teams down there are very good, and you know, so we'll wait and see how it all shakes up. We still got some work to do next week as we play Montford, but we just really want to try to get that home playoff spot in the first round.
Coach, one thing I've noticed, I've seen y'all play a couple of times this year. I didn't get to see tonight, but after talking to you, y'all have done a good job, your team has, of buying into the fact that we got to play the next game, not looking ahead. And I see that in your starts that you're having. You're starting out fast every ball game, and that's a sign of a team that even that young offensive line is getting more mature, but those older guys around them have said, hey, we got to start fast. I think your team's bought into that.
Yeah, we've got a really good group of seniors. We've got good upperclassmen that have played a lot of football over the past several years, and I think they have a maturity level about them that they understand what they've got to do and how we got to get there, and not just to get in, but you know, you want to be playing your best ball at the end of the year, and so, you know, just really work on you know, getting better each and every week, and you know, just proud of how we have approached you know, the games up to this point. Like I said, it's still, you know, midway through the season. We got a lot of football left to play, but you know, as of right now, I really like how our approach has been, you know, with our older guys, you know, helping lead those younger guys. So, you know, really proud of that.
You had a great summer as far as 7-on-7. You know, maybe 5-1, 6-1, something like that. Had a great summer as far as 7-on-7. Everybody knew about your quarterback. Everybody knew about your receivers, and even some of the ones that have come along. But nobody knew about that offensive line. Even me, myself, said they got to be able to learn how to run the football to set up the play-action pass. Man, y'all come a long way with your offensive line.
We have. You know, I think the biggest thing is being able to, we've been really balanced over the past several weeks of being, I know last week, I hadn't seen the real stats for this week, but last week I think we were like 21 pass, 22 rush. We were right at that 50-50 mark. And so, you know, that's going to be, you know, key for us. And it's just basically taking what people give us. You know, you can't really stack the box against us because of what Jim and Kedrick and Monte and Emory can do. And then, you know, you spread them out, and Zay's been running really well, and, you know, our backs. And so offensive line, you know, that was the big question mark coming in. Offensive, defensive lines, we had some young guys, but they're a hard-working group. They've gotten better each and every week, and, you know, we've been able to put up some good numbers rushing the football. And so I think they're getting more and more confident. And, you know, just being able to keep people off balance with what we do is going to be a big key for us. And on the defensive side of the ball, you know, I've been really pleased with our physicality, especially up front. D-line linebackers, you know, have played really physical, and, you know, that's going to be big for us as we move through 4A South.
You don't have the stats, but I do, Coach. Your offensive coordinator shot me some stats a while ago. So, you know, as usual, Jim Ogle's on 9 for 12, 210 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he rushed for 71 yards and a TD tonight. But here's your balance. Your team tonight rushed for 272, and you threw for 210. That's as balanced as you can get right there, Coach.
Yeah, it's, you know, that was huge. Jim had a great night running the football. And so, you know, like I said, just being able to stay balanced, you know, and these guys continuing to get better, get more comfortable, you know, offensive line working as a unit. You know, they're getting used to each other. They work hard, and they practice, you know, try to get better each and every day. And so really proud of them and those guys that have stepped up. And we've had a lot of guys step up in different roles throughout the year, you know, and everybody knows about Jim, everybody knows about Kedrick, but we've had, Zay stepping up, Monte stepping up, Emery stepping up, the offensive line stepping up. Defensively, we've played really well over the past several weeks. And so the key is just trying to continue to get better each and every week and peak at the right time.
Coach, I don't want to disrespect anybody else when I say this, but as I go in my mind here and I think through an 8-county area of East Alabama, I don't think there's a better quarterback than Jim Ogle. He's a household name. He's been a starter for you for 3 years now. And there have been a lot of accolades and a lot said about him, written about him, and we've shown a lot of highlights through the years here. But now that he's a senior, just tell us about the quarterback that he is, because we could sit here for about the next 10 minutes and talk about all the great qualities he has, physical qualities, intangible qualities, and things like that. It's going to be hard to find a better quarterback in the state, I think, in any classification than Jim Ogle.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great quarterback, great young man. If you put all the quarterbacks in a line and I had the first pick, I would take Jim Ogle. I mean, he's a player. He's very humble. He works hard. He leads by example. But when he does lead vocally, everybody listens to him. And just the work that he's put in on Saturdays, Sunday afternoons in the off season. Him and those receivers up there at the field just throwing routes, and the connection that they have, is just really, really good. When he gets to scrambling, they know where to go. He knows where they're going to be. And that's big. But Jim is a fine young man. He's a great student, and I know that he's going to have a very successful college career, and we look forward to watching that.
And Coach, I just want you to know, for about the past 5 weeks, I've been pushing very hard for him to be slid in on that Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game. Yep. Pushing real hard. They even mentioned to him, he can punt too, guys.
Yeah. That's true. Listen, he definitely is deserving of that, and
yes.
Like I said, you can watch him, you can watch film, you can meet him and talk to him, and there's nobody that would be a better selection than Jim Ogle.
In a couple of weeks, I know you got area games. I know you don't want to hear this question. It's not even a question. It's an observation for me.
Observation.
Not only if you got one of the better quarterbacks around, but we're lucky enough to see, you haven't yet, you went a couple of weeks, but we're lucky enough to see probably 2 of the best quarterbacks in the state right here in the county. With the Mims kid from Oxford. And, y'all going to play them in a couple of weeks. That'll be a great game right there. Both of those guys competing against each other. That's going to be fun to watch.
It will. It should be a great atmosphere. We get them at home at Golden Eagle Stadium. And, they've got a great program, a great team. And, we're glad we have them at home. And our kids look forward to that challenge. And, we got some work to do between now and then. But it should be a lot of fun. And, our kids have a lot of confidence, and I know that we'll go in there and give it everything we got and play hard and compete well.
All right, Coach, last question. I always have kind of a fun question. I'm a weird guy when it comes to football. I'm a weird guy anyway. Everybody knows that. But I'm going to ask you a weird question.
Okay.
Just put yourself into the fan standpoint. High school football Friday night. Clint Smith, not the coach, Clint Smith, the fan. When you go to another game, where maybe you're not the coach, you go to a Thursday night game, something like that, what is the favorite thing that you really like about the atmosphere of high school football, just from a fan standpoint?
Well, I know my coaches are laughing right now because when we go watch games or scout teams or whatever, I don't let them ride with me. I go by myself. I'm
the same way.
Listen, I grew up. My dad was a junior high coach for 22 years. My granddaddy and my grandmother went 50 years without ever missing a Clay County football game, home or away. From the time I could walk to the time I started playing, loading up with them and going to games on Friday nights. And my granddaddy, if the game was at 7. We would get there at 4:30, and it didn't matter where we were going. And so I think that was just instilled. But, I love the pageantry of high school football. If there's a game on Thursday night, that I can go to, or a game on Friday night if we're not playing, I'm going to be there. I'm going to get there early. I'm going to visit the concession stand, and I'm going to find me a good seat, and I'm going to watch the bands come in. I'm just going to watch all of it. I really enjoy the pageantry of high school football. In its purest form, and just love doing that. And like I said, I'll tell my coaches, we'll meet you at the game. You let me know when you get there. You can come sit with me if you want to, but they won't ride with me because I get there so early. So I enjoy all of that. Doesn't matter who's playing. I enjoy going to different stadiums and watching different teams play. And so Yeah, that's me on a Thursday or Friday night. I really enjoy it.
Good insight, Coach. Coach, congratulations on the win tonight, on the season you're having so far. Thank you for being with us here on High School Football Alabama's After the Game. We'll be watching you the rest of the way, however far that goes into the playoffs. Congratulations again on the big win tonight at Golden Eagle Stadium. We have come to the time of the night where it's time for Farmers and Merchants Bank Spirit Scholarship nominees. 12 midnight tonight. That's about an hour and 15 minutes away. We're going to open the voting for 3 schools this week where you can vote for, we're going to narrow it down from 76 to 38 scholar athletes. Those final 38 will get a $50 gift card from Farmers and Merchants Bank. And then 2 of those will get $1,500 college scholarships, and it's all based on fan voting on Facebook at High School Football Alabama. The voting for these 3 schools opens at midnight tonight and will continue through 12 noon next Friday, the 13th of October. So let's begin tonight. Our next nominees will begin with Anniston High School. 2 female nominees, Kiara Foster, a track and field athlete with a 3.2 GPA. The other female from Anniston High School. As we look at that, I think we're having some slow time with graphics tonight. We'll see what happens there. We may have to bail out of this. There she is, Leah Tyus, a cheer and basketball player with a 2.9 GPA. We also have 2 male athletes from Anniston High School. Basketball player Isaiah Allen with a 3.5 GPA. And this is no stranger, Jaden Lewis, a football and track and field athlete and star with a 3.1 GPA. Those are the scholar athlete nominees from Anniston High School. Next, we go to Pleasant Valley. 2 female athletes, Allie Bryant, volleyball player with a 3.93 GPA. The other female nominee from Pleasant Valley, Samantha Preston, cross country, track, cheer, a 4.04 GPA. The 2 male athletes from Pleasant Valley High School, Holt Bentley, a football and baseball player with a 3.66 GPA. And the other male athlete representing Pleasant Valley is Will Walker, football, wrestling, track, and look at that, band. 3.95. How does he football and band? I've seen it done before. Apparently, he's one of those. 3.95 GPA for Pleasant Valley. And our final school that we'll have voting for this week will be the Sandrock Wildcats. And she is perhaps the greatest volleyball player in Sandrock history. She's been in the press spotlight, I think, every week this year. Caitlin St. Clair, volleyball, softball, and basketball player with a 3.8 GPA. The other female athlete from Sandrock is Chloe Stevens, a volleyball and basketball player, also with a 3.8 GPA. And then 2 male athletes from Sandrock, Ben Bruce, a track and cross country athlete with a perfect 4.0 GPA. And we also have Jimmy Cochran. He is a track and football athlete for the Sandrock Wildcats with a 3.0 GPA. We'll come back with more of High School Football Alabama's Before the Game. Yeah, we're going to have highlights of that big Oxford-Pell City game coming up. And we also have coming up next the Munford High School cheerleaders. They're in the house, and they're next on After the Game.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch. The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
There's a lot to think about when you're having a baby. Colors of the nursery, names, and most importantly, where to deliver.
We want a hospital that gives families a more personalized birthing experience.
With a compassionate team of doctors and nurses, and a hospital where my baby and I can instantly bond with all the comforts of home.
So where do we find all that?
Right here at RMC, the first designated baby-friendly hospital in Alabama.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at PeeWeeTurnerMotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welber Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. A mortgage or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
Yell M-H-S. Lions! Here we go, yell M-H-S. Lions! Here we go, yell M-H-S. Lions! Here we go, yell M-H-S. Here we go,
The mighty Munford Lion cheerleaders, they were cheering hard for their team tonight in the East Alabama Iron Bowl down at Lincoln. Game didn't turn out the way that they expected, but we appreciate them being here. And we have not heard the last of the mighty Munford Lion cheerleaders. More from them coming up in just a little bit. We're back on High School Football Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. John Holder, Michael Short, you've been wondering about Chad Barnett. He's off tonight. His daughter in the homecoming court out at White Plains tonight, so he's taking care of business out there. So Chad will not be with us tonight. He'll be back with us next Friday night. And we are back here on After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. We've got a lot going on. One of the things we need to do is talk about, hey, we had this score right here, Fultondale and Asheville. This is the only local score that we have not given you, and that is Fultondale tonight beating Asheville. Coach Caracas Shepherd still looking for his first win as head coach at Asheville. It did not come tonight against Fultondale, as Fultondale wins the game over in Jefferson County, 48-6, the final score in that game. We mentioned earlier in the day being over at Smoke Neck Tech at Southside. Southside are reigning Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week, and they got all kinds of goodies. Had a prayer breakfast over there this morning. Southside was actually out of school, so we were over at Southside today visiting with Miles Holcomb and the team today. Fantastic guys over there as they were presented our Team of the Week Tough Guy Trophy. There's the shirt right there. That's our Anniston Orthopedic score shirt. It had Southside 48, Boaz 45 in overtime. That game that they had last week, we presented those to every member of the team. And there's also the Ted's shirts that we have there, courtesy of the folks at Ted's Floors and Beyond, as they get not one but two T-shirts every week. And so a great turnout from the guys there for the prayer breakfast this morning. And that's the Southside High School Panthers. They were our Team of the Week. Who will be the Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week for this week? We'll announce that coming up in a little over an hour or so, maybe just past the midnight hour tonight here on High School Football Alabama After the Game. Back on the set now, Coach Michael Short joins me back here. Coach, you and I were both at Donahoe last night. Right. Donahoe and Winterboro taking place on Thursday night up at Lentz Field at Donahoe.
Yeah, I love to go to Donahoe because it is such a beautiful setting. Me and you both agree with that. It's one of the most beautiful settings for a high school football game.
And it was nice and cool there last night. We go now to our team sports highlights of the Donahoe and the Winterboro game. Let me explain this. 60 young girls from the lower school at Donahoe, they had a varsity cheer camp going on all week, and the reward for these young ladies, they got to go on the field at halftime and perform with the varsity cheerleaders. Had a great time there at halftime at Lynch Field at Donahoe. Back on the field, there's Coach Jeremy Satcher. Things not starting off well for Donahoe at all. A blocked punt. This led to not only good field position for Winterboro, but this also led to a touchdown. Then on the next possession, 4th and 1, and it's a fake punt by Deontay Smoot. Then Smoot breaking loose for a 13-yard run. That brought him down into Donahoe territory. Then we've got a pass play here. This is quarterback Carter Castleberry with a 22-yard pass right in front of you to Kenneth Simmons. That set them up in great possession right here, great field position, I should say. Then an interception. Zach Cater of Donahoe intercepts the pass at the 2-yard line. Punting woes, though, continue for Donahoe. Kai Kleckler here with only a 14-yard punt, and that set Winterboro once again. A 7-yard touchdown run by Smoot. Aquarius Trust with the 2-point conversion was good. This was the only scoring drive of the game for Donahoe. It began with Kleckler with a 46-yard run, taking it deep into Winterboro territory. 4th and 18 at the Winterboro 26. This is Marcus Waller. Look at this catch down at the 2-yard line, a 24-yard pass from Kleckler down to the 2. And then on the next play, Kleckler a 2-yard touchdown run. The PAT was no good, but Donahoe had cut the lead to 14-6. But here comes Winterboro back again, wide open as Brian waits a 56-yard pass from Castleberry. Finally dragged down all the way at the 1-yard line. Here comes the big guy again, Truss with a 1-yard touchdown run. Truss had the 2-point conversion run. 22-6 Winterboro. Waller again, a 29-yard pass from Kleckler. Coach Skylar Mansfield from Winterboro is going, what's going on, guys? We're letting this guy have these big passes against us. That did not result in a score, but this did. Here's Smoot again, breaking loose for a 51-yard touchdown run right in the middle of the Donahoe defense. 2-point run was no good. And at halftime, Winterboro was leading 28-6, and they turned this into a 47-6 win last night. Big win for Winterboro. Winterboro coach is in great position now for a playoff berth out of Class 1A Region 4.
This game last year,
Or 6, I should say.
Last year, of course, it was a lot cooler. Last year, we actually had some sweats on that ball game.
I was cold last year. I was cold at Munford last year, at that
Munford-Lincoln
game last year, yes.
During race week, and last year, you know, they had a goal line stand, Donahoe did, and that game kind of propelled them into the playoffs. Well, this game last night with Winterboro may have propelled them into the playoffs. And number 20, Deontay Smoot, had 15 carries for 185 yards, also plays defense and had 9 individual tackles last night on his own.
Big win for Winterboro. You know, Winterboro, let's look at this. They still have to play Wadley. They've still got the big games in front of them. This is a Winterboro team that, as Coach Mansfield has pointed out, they're still in contention, not only, Coach, for a playoff berth, they're in contention for a region championship still.
Oh, yeah, and of course, we talked about that, and he said everybody may be wanting to get second. We'll talk about that later. He said they all may be wanting to get second. But, yeah, he said that we're still fighting right now to win a region championship, and that's what their goal is. And they looked very impressive last night.
We are coming to you from the RMC Media Center on this Football Friday night. And, of course, we've had already a couple of coaches in. We've had Tommy Miller in from JCA. Clint Smith from Jackson will be joined by the head coach of the White Plains Wildcats. Blake Jennings got his first win tonight. We'll talk about that as well. Coming to you with our Noble Bank and Trust post-game presser. Let's tell you about the folks at Noble Bank and Trust. They are truly a community bank at Noble Bank. One-stop shopping, checking, savings. That means community banking that you are going to get basically just personal service. You're going to get service from people you know all across East Alabama. Locations to serve you all across Calhoun County, even over in Birmingham at the Summit. RMC, the Media Center, every Friday night we bring you the Noble Bank and Trust, bringing you our post-game presser with all the live coaches and guests that we have on these Football Friday nights. Now, we told you earlier we're not done with the mighty, mighty Munford Lion cheerleaders. These ladies gracious enough to join us here at the RMC Media Center at Parker Memorial Baptist Church here in Anniston. Let me tell you, they've been treated well tonight, have snacks and things for them there, being greeted by the church staff here. And we're going to get them on the road back to Munford on this Football Friday night, but not before we hear from them one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, here they are, the mighty, mighty Munford Lion cheerleaders on this Football Friday night.
Here we go, Lions, here we go. Here we go, Lions, here we go.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed Vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. A place to use the gifts and talents God has given you. A place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
After 15 years of supplying top quality, name brand sports equipment and team apparel to hundreds of Alabama schools, coaches, and athletes, and continuing to provide custom uniforms, embroidery, and screen printing, Team Sports is adding a new player. Coming soon, McClellan Sports and Outdoors. Whether you're an athlete in search of football helmets, bats, or even cleats, or an outdoor enthusiast in search of apparel from top brands, McClellan Sports and Outdoors has you covered. Visit McClellansports.com for more information.
The Coosa Valley, on the banks of the Coosa River in Gadsden, Alabama. Fishing, boating, and paddling, and home to Team One Chevrolet. Team One Chevy has been serving generations for years. Even the grandkids are grown. Come by and see why so many people come back to Team One Chevy in Gadsden.
Home of the best people, the best service, period.
High school football Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission on this football Friday night, just after the 11 o'clock hour. Pee Wee Turner Motors, great sponsors from the very beginning of high school football Alabama. They're the area's longest established used car dealer. It all began in 1969, South Quintard Avenue in Anniston. Visit them. Even tomorrow's going to be a beautiful fall day. Go out, visit them, 512 South Quintard Avenue in Anniston. Not only selling great quality late model vehicles, but you can rent a car, a Penske moving truck, or even a Cruise America RV. You can visit them at peeweeturnermotors.net. Let's go back and run through all the final scores. We have all the final scores now in, not only locally, but across the state of Alabama as well, as we go back to our USA Softball of Alabama scoreboard. We don't have that? Okay. We're going to bail out of that. We'll come back here. It's no problem, because we have the head coach of the White Plains High School Wildcats in his first year, not only at White Plains, but his first year as a head football coach. Blake Jennings is with us, and we got a lot of special things to talk about tonight. But tonight it was homecoming out at Robertson Field. White Plains won the game, not only the first win, coach, for your team, but also your first win as a head coach. Congratulations,
yes,
Coach, on the great
appreciate
win tonight. Tell us about it.
Hey, it was appreciation. Thank you. Oh, it was a great win. You know, come out, kids played hard tonight. We got up 40-0. You know, had a couple guys get banged up and got a little hairy there in the fourth quarter. You know, gave a few points, but Dylan Barksdale had a great game. I think he had 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. We started a freshman at quarterback tonight, Crew Martin. I think he was 8 for 13, 143 yards, had a good night, and, had a touchdown through there. So it was a good night. It was a fun night. Played a bunch of young kids.
Coach, I'm not a coach. My dad was a coach, but I was not a coach. So I want you two guys right here before we get deeper into this thing. Coach, do you remember your first win as a head football coach and what that was like? And I know what you're going to impart to him. This is a night you won't forget, I think, your first win as a head football coach.
Yes, sir.
You two guys just kind of talk about
my
that.
first year as a head coach, I was all excited. We're going to change the culture.
Yeah.
We're going to change everything.
Mm-hmm.
And our first ball game that we went out and played, I had everything so organized. I mean, and then, the Jason Johnsons and the Snyders and all those guys.
Yeah, I know those guys.
Yeah. They come back in and said, Coach, we were the most unorganized team I've ever seen. So we had to throw all that in the trash can and come out and do what was good for us.
That's right.
And I remember my first game. We won 2 my first year.
Right.
Won 2 ball games. They
Yes,
called
sir.
me Deuce.
Yeah.
Chris Cagle called me Deuce.
Yes, sir.
Because I got him back several years ago. But that first one, you'll always win. But I'm just going to tell you, always take the time because you're always thinking, I got to get ready for the next one. We
That's
got
right.
24 hours.
That's right.
Coach, you better enjoy them because you don't ever know when it may be taken away from you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You just always enjoy those
Yes,
games.
sir.
Because, the coaching community tells you not to. Boy, we got to go on to the next
Yeah.
one. But you better enjoy them because
sir.
your kids need to enjoy them.
That's right. That's right.
Need to enjoy them.
Yes, sir.
You probably haven't had time yet, maybe you have, on the drive here out, down Choccolocco Road, maybe to kind of think about, because you're a guy, you played Alexandria, been an assistant coach, you put in the years, you put in the time, and always dreamed of being the head coach. And then to get that first win, I think when you're a little kid and you think about coaching one day and get that first win, as you're driving here tonight down Choccolocco Road, maybe perhaps did you take a moment there to just think about, wow, I just coached a football team to a win tonight.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. Showed up there in June, get approved in May, show up in June, and a lot of works went into that. And that's one thing we've kept telling the boys, keep playing, play by play. And eventually it's going to come, and it went our way tonight. And, it was happy for the boys, happy for the, all the coaches, everybody. It was just, it was a fun night.
Good thing when you work hard, good things happen.
That's exactly
and
right.
it may not be, and sometimes I had to teach some of my teams.
Yeah.
That it may not be in wins.
Right.
It may be what you do when you're 28 years old that you learn from,
Yes, sir.
from you and your staff.
That's right.
What hard work does, and it may just be later on.
Yeah, and they've been, and that's one of the things we've been putting the work in that weight room. And that's one thing we've told the kids, that weight room tells you a lot about yourself as a person. You're going to learn a lot from that weight room, and it's going to carry with you your whole life. And that's really, we've been putting the work in there, and that's where those guys were a little bit behind, and we just keep working them, and go to practice every day, and they're getting a little better every day.
Coach, there's something I need to bring up to you. You're an Alexandria guy.
I am.
Well,
you're a Heflin guy.
Yeah. Okay, I'm glad you know that.
That's right.
You know that.
That's
but
right.
Already this year I've had an
07.
Alexandria guy.
Yeah.
And now I got another Alexandria guy, and I'm sure that we'll get another Alexandria guy.
Yep.
What is it about all you Alexandria guys that are becoming coaches all over this county?
We played for a great one, Larry Ginn. He was a great coach, and Frank Tucker, Coach Tucker, he texted me on the way here. And Andy Shaw and Gerald Shaw, man,
Jason Johnson.
Jason Johnson, Bernard Howard. We played for some really good coaches, and they made an impact on us, and that's what as coaches, what we're trying to do, trying to make an impact on these kids, and and that's what it's all about.
Well, Coach Ginn was so good to me.
Yeah.
And I know I was at Heflin, I understood
Right.
that. But he was always the first person when they used to walk across that field.
Yeah.
And I'd be standing out there behind the old, where the dressing room was.
Yeah.
And he would leave his line of guys because they would come over and go to the dressing room.
Yeah.
He would walk to me and say, "Come here." And I run to him.
Yeah.
He was my. I like Coach Ginn.
Yeah.
And he just always told me, "Hey, you keep playing hard. Keep
Yeah.
doing what you're supposed to be doing. Keep
Yeah.
working hard, and it'll pay off eventually."
Yeah.
And he was a mentor to me too. So
That's
it wasn't
right.
just y'all; it was
Yes,
all
sir.
of us.
I think it was in 2005 or so, we were playing you guys at Alexandria. Y'all were ranked in the top 10. We were ranked in the top 10. That's the most people I've ever seen at a football game in my career, playing career. It was standing room only everywhere there at Lucasdale Stadium.
I've been
Yeah.
a part of some unbelievable
That's
Alexandria
right.
Heflin ball games
Yeah.
over the years.
It was
Great ball
yep.
games, great memories, and hopefully they'll have more memories in the future.
Right, yes, sir.
Coach, tell us about this year's team. Talk about some of the guys that have been great players for you. I know you got some young talent coming up. Saw this Holloway kid last week out there against Hoax Bluff. Tell us just about who have been the leaders for you in this team this year.
Right. Our leader right now, at the end of the day is Dylan Barksdale. He's one of our only seniors. We've got 2 seniors on the team, him and Cooper Tenney. And Cooper had he's got a knee problem, so he won't get to play the rest of the year. But Dylan's been great. He's been vocal in the weight room. He's been vocal in practice. on the field, everything. He's done everything we've asked of him. And tonight he had a fantastic game. Ty Roberts, he's another one that's a junior for us. Dalton Luker, those are my 3 captains. And those guys really set the tone in the weight room every day, and I think everybody sees that. You got some other guys tonight. Ashton Wallace, number 9, he's a junior. He had 2 interceptions tonight as a linebacker, and so he had a really good night. You got some other guys. We started Crew Martin tonight at quarterback. He's a freshman. We started him there, and we let Dylan play some wing back, and so we just get the ball different ways to him. And Crew had a great night, and he's got some talent. He's got a lot of work to do, and we start. He's there. PJ Holloway starts for us at tailback. He's also a freshman. He's very talented. I think he finished with 120-something yards rushing tonight, and he had a touchdown out of the backfield, catching one. So, we've got some young guys. Taylor Brown, number 19, he stepped right in there this week, started at Mike linebacker for us as a freshman. He had a really good night. He got a little banged up in going into the fourth quarter, and we kind of had to move some people around just because we are, we're young, and we're getting a little beat up at times, and that comes with it. So.
I know tonight is back to varsity in a win.
Mm-hmm.
You play a 7th, 8th grade schedule?
Yeah, yes, sir. We've played a couple 7th and 8th grade games. Just because we've got like 7 through 9, and then we've played a couple 7, 8s.
A lot of people have to do both.
That's
How's
right.
that going? How's that?
It's going good. Our 7th and 8th graders, they beat Montford last week, or a couple weeks ago, lost Cherokee County by 2 the other night. Our 7, 8, 9, they've won 3 or 4 games. They're all getting better. There is no doubt.
That's out there, Coach, because you know what this is. This is the time of the year that everybody's trying to reschedule.
Yeah, that's right.
And why they call me and say, Coach, I don't know. I hadn't seen it. Well, I hear White Plains getting pretty good.
Yeah,
so it's out there. The story's out there.
Hey,
You're doing a good job.
We're trying to work those kids every single day. And that's the thing. Show up and go to work every single day.
That's right.
Coach, you've been a part of 2 really successful programs. You mentioned Alexandria, but you also during some great years at Ohatchee as well. So a Blake Jennings team, what do you want that to look like? I'm imagining it's going to have some Alexandria fingerprints on it. It's going to have some Ohatchee fingerprints on it. But is there anything else we're missing there that maybe Blake Jennings is bringing to the table that's maybe not Alexandria and Ohatchee?
I just think it goes back to being a hard-nosed football team. A bunch of guys that are tough football players and want to get after it every day and develop that physicality that we're asking out of them. Because we ask them to be physical. And we're starting to get there a little bit, and I think, as we continue to go and we continue to grow, that's going to happen. But that's one of the biggest things. Can we be the most physical team on the field? That's the goal at the end of the day.
I got to ask you a question. It's not about football. So you coached Ohatchee for a while.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever had a Lauren Stanley Butterfinger cake? Have you ever had one of those?
You know what? Listen, all right, she last week, so we had a little boy, all right, Miles. He's about 3 weeks old.
That's right.
Yes, sir. He's about 3 weeks old. Well, Lauren brought us dinner last Sunday night, maybe a couple Sunday nights ago, and it was chicken and vegetables and all this stuff. And then my wife opened the refrigerator. She's like, "Oh, look what Lauren brought you." So I had one of them. Hey, that thing's been gone.
I was going to say, there's none left.
Yeah, that's right.
Coach, you just made Coach Short so jealous tonight talking about that. But before I let you get out of here, I did want to bring that up.
Yes, sir.
I called Coach Jennings a few weeks ago and I said, "Okay, can you come be on the show on this date?" And he said, "Oh, we are expecting, and it may happen on that very night."
You asked me to come to Hanley, and it was that Saturday.
And I said, "Say no more. We will put it off till later in the season." But now
he's here.
He's here.
Yeah,
tell us about it, Coach.
Hey, it's been great. It's been awesome. My wife is, she's at home right now with him. Morgan is, and hey, she's been the best. I promise you that. She's been the best mom in the world. And he's wonderful. You come home from practice, you're mad, you walk in the door, hey, you got him. And so it makes it great.
Man,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I got some toothpicks
for
your eyes.
Yeah,
your eyes up when you go to sleep.
That's right. Yes,
Coach,
sir.
thank you. Congratulations
Yes, sir.
on the big win tonight.
Yes, sir.
A night that I'll tell you, he's going to remember it forever, right, Coach? He's going to remember forever.
You'll always remember it, and make sure you write it up somewhere and put it there. And congratulations on that little young man, too.
Yes, sir. Hey, thank y'all. Appreciate
Absolutely. Blake Jennings, head coach of the White Plains Wildcats. They win tonight over Talladega on homecoming at Robertson Field, 43-29. Right now, we are going to go back to our scoreboard. We're going to get the final scores from all across the state of Alabama and here in East Alabama as well as we go back to our USA Softball of Alabama scoreboard. Highlights of this game still to come. Yeah, you'll see Steve Smith walking on the field at Piedmont. We got that for you. Piedmont beating Westbrook Christian tonight 35-19. There's the score. White Plains over Talladega 43-29. Last night we just saw the highlights of this game. Winterboro beating Donahoe 47-6. We got highlights of this one coming too. Number 9 Oxford. Wow, what a game. They beat Pell City 28-25 tonight at Lamar Field in Oxford. Of course, Coach Short was there. He'll fill us in on that. Walter Welborn, their winningest coach now in school history, is Jeff Smith with that win tonight over Childersburg, 56-28 on the hill at Walter Welborn. Highlights of that game coming. Number 6 Hanley tonight over Anniston, 39-6. Randolph County comes to Jack Stewart Field at Sachs. They keep the Wildcats winless, winning 35-14. We'll also have highlights of this game coming. Geraldine, number 9 team in Class 3A, beating Ohatchee 55-6 tonight on the Creek Bank at Reagan Clark Stadium. And we will take you and show you some of that as well tonight. Also, Alexandria, tough loss. But they were on the 17-yard line as the game ended. St. Clair County beats Alexandria 36-31 tonight out at Death Valley in Alexandria. Earlier, we had the head coach of the Jacksonville Golden Eagles, Clint Smith, on. Number 7 Jacksonville continues to roll as they win 63-14 over Cleveland County. And the head coach of the Jacksonville Christian Thunder, Tommy Miller, was with us earlier. JCA remains undefeated, 7-0. They're going to win a state championship. That's my prediction. JCA 66-29 over Success Unlimited out of Montgomery tonight. And we'll have highlights of that game coming, and we'll show you the homecoming queen as well. Number 10, Locust Fork, beating Pleasant Valley tonight. Pleasant Valley with a lot of injuries, and Pleasant Valley loses tonight at Locust Fork over in Blount County, 61-6, the final of that game. Vincent beats Ranburg tonight, 33-20 over in Shelby County at Vincent. Also tonight, Woodland gets a win. They needed one. They got a big region win in 2A Region 4. They beat Central of Coosa tonight at Sewell Field in Woodland, 38-13, the final of that game. Central of Clay County continues to roll. Number 3 team in 5A, beating a good Valley team. Valley came in 4-1. They beat the Rams tonight, 47-0, the final score in that one. Let me tell you about this game, folks. Look here. This is going to be surprising to you. Sylacauga barely lost to Beauregard. They were 0-7. Beauregard has been state ranked earlier in the season. Beauregard escapes with a 39-38 win over Sylacauga tonight at Legion Stadium in Sylacauga. Continuing with games in Class 2A Region 4, number 1 BB Comer in Maplesville tonight in Chilton County against the Isabella Mustangs. They beat the Mustangs 47-13 tonight. Another team that was on the road in Chilton County, and that was Thorsby in Fayetteville. Fayetteville on the road at Thorsby. Thorsby, the Rebels win the game 61-21, the final tonight over in Chilton County. Florida School for the Deaf and ASD play tomorrow in St. Augustine, Florida. Last week, Florida School for the Deaf was in a 90-86 game, not basketball, football, last week against Countryside Christian School in Florida. I don't know what to expect, but ASD will probably score some points tomorrow down in St. Augustine. Continuing with games tonight, Spring Garden wins at Talladega County Central, 51-23, the win for Spring Garden this evening. And the East Alabama Iron Bowl tonight, that's what I've termed it, Lincoln and Munford. We had the Munford cheerleaders on earlier. Lincoln gets the win. Munford was out. They led for a big part of the first half of this game. But Lincoln comes on, and they beat Munford tonight 29-17 at Keith Howard Memorial Stadium in Lincoln. Ragland continues to roll, maybe the most underrated team in the state in 1A. Ragland over Victory Christian tonight at Joan Ford Stadium, 59-17 the final. Moody, number 5 in the state in 5A, still haven't lost to anybody in the state of Alabama. Moody wins at Tiger Stadium in Springville tonight as they beat the Tigers 28-17. Fultondale beats Asheville. Fultondale a lot better than that 2-4 record. They beat Asheville tonight 48-6. Caracas Shepherd still winless as the head coach of the Asheville Bulldogs. Also tonight, it was North Sand Mountain beating up on Sandrock 47-28 up on the mountain at Higdon. Woodville, best team they've ever had in school history. They beat Galesville tonight 23-6 up in Jackson County at Woodville. This game now, with what's happened at Coosa Christian, really jockeying for maybe even a region title. The Cedar Bluff led in this game at one time 20-18, and Valley Head scores the last 26 of the game as they beat Cedar Bluff tonight 44-20. They literally, Coach Short, this is not an exaggeration, I'm not just saying this. Holly Pond broke a 20-game losing streak tonight at home in Coleman County against our Gaston Bulldogs, and they celebrated by rolling the trees in Holly Pond tonight, as I understand it. Holly Pond beating Gaston 50-14, the final score. Also tonight, Hoax Bluff goes to Plainview. We start talking about 3A Region 6. Hoax Bluff gets a big win in Rainsville tonight over the Plainview Bears, 28-14, the final score. Also a game that was moved from Friday night to Thursday night. Sylvania, number 8 in the state in 3A, bouncing back after that loss to rival Pisgah last week. Sylvania no problem beating the Glencoe Yellow Jackets 56-20 last night at Wilson Darnell Stadium. Southside are reigning Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. I was at Southside today. They're beat up. You wouldn't know it. Southside has won 6 straight. They beat number 6 Leeds tonight. Awesome atmosphere. We'll have highlights of this game coming from Barney Hood Stadium, where Southside beat Leeds tonight 23-13. Gadsden City. Titans only scored 69 tonight against Hazel Green. Hazel Green 0-6. Yes, that is a school record for the Titans since they opened in 2006. The most points they've ever scored in a game, 69 tonight over the Hazel Green Trojans at Titan Stadium. Wild game tonight at Jim Glover Field in Attala. Number 9, Aniana. I'll be anxious to see how many yards Fluff Bothwell had tonight, as Aniana beat Etowah 62-36 tonight in that shootout over at Jim Glover Field in Attala. The Sardis Lions tonight. This could be a playoff team. B.J. Brooks, former Glencoe player, getting it done at Sardis. They're now 5-1. They beat rival Douglas tonight 35-21. Games around the state, we got all these in. Class 1A, the big game in West Alabama. Number 7, Pickens County. They've now lost 3 games, 2 in Class 1A win. The Bears go in and win 28-6 tonight in Reform. We thought this was going to be a game, the biggest game between Luverne and Highland Home. These are big rivals right there on Highway 331 in Crenshaw County. Tonight, the Flying Squadron flies into Luverne to Glenn Daniels Stadium. I'll tell you, I don't know this for a fact, but I'll promise you this is the worst that Highland Home has ever beaten Luverne. 60-0 tonight, the final score down at Luverne in a top 10 matchup. Also tonight, Gunnersville. This is the only loss that Southside has is to Gunnersville, and that was by a goal line stand by Gunnersville late in the game. Gunnersville beat Scottsboro tonight. Battle of Wildcats at Chorba-Lee Stadium in Gunnersville. Number 8 Gunnersville beats number 10 Scottsboro 20-6 the final. Also this evening, the game of the night in the state. Coach Short, I don't know if you know this or not, but this game went to double overtime. Muscle Shoals beating Hartselle 55-49 in double OT at J.P. Kane Stadium tonight in this top 5 matchup in 6A. And then we had 2 top 10 matchups in 7A tonight. Wow, Central Phoenix City is looking like one of the most dominant 7A teams we've ever seen. They beat number 7 Dothan tonight down at Garrett Stadium in Phoenix City, 48-14. And an impressive win by the number 2 team, Thompson. Looks like we're headed for a Thompson, maybe Central Phoenix City showdown at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Number 2 Thompson beating number 6 Hewitt-Trussville tonight in Trussville by a score of 40-14. And we come back here to high school football Alabama's after the game. I think we've got our first extra point of the night presented by Red Threads. We're a little bit behind on extra points tonight, so we're going to bring you, I think, our first ever Red Threads extra point of the evening. And tonight's win by Randolph County gave Tiger head coach Pat Prestridge his 147th win as head coach at RCHS. The 147 wins ties his former Tiger head coach Ron Waters for the most wins in school history. A win at home next Friday versus Welborn, which might also be a region title game, would give Prestridge sole possession of the most wins of any coach in Randolph County history. Back with more of After the Game in just a moment.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
The Coosa Valley, on the banks of the Coosa River in Gadsden, Alabama. Fishing, boating, and paddling, and home to Team One Chevrolet. Team One Chevy has been serving generations for years. Even the grandkids are grown. Come by and see why so many people come back to Team One Chevy in Gadsden.
Home of the best people, the best service, period.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at PeeWeeTurnerMotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Wellberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
High school football, Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission on Football Friday night. Let's tell you about our friends at Young Oil Grub Mart, locations all across East Alabama, from Cherokee County to Lee County. They have farm and industrial fuel in addition to the great quality fuel that they provide for vehicles. All kind of jobs available. They have a website now, great website. I've been there to check that out at grubmart.com. They have both Marathon Rewards and Super Saver cards as well. And of course, Grub Mart getting famous now for these Grub Mart Muscle Team t-shirts. And we gave more of these out literally today at Anniston High School for the Anniston defensive line. Last week, they shut down the Piedmont offense 14-9 at the Field of Champions in Piedmont. Piedmont didn't score a touchdown until late in the game on a touchdown pass in the last 3 or 4 minutes of the game. They forced 2 or 3 turnovers last week, totally pretty much shut down the Piedmont offense. A great performance by the Anniston defensive line. These guys include Colin Wansart, Kamar Holder, we're not related, Sharante Bailey, Jalen Henderson, Quadarius Elston, and James Brown. That is the Anniston defensive line, and they got our Young Oil Muscle Team t-shirts. Today, we were up at the Memorial Fieldhouse at Anniston this afternoon, as a matter of fact, to present those Grub Mart Muscle Team t-shirts to the Anniston defensive line. Back with you on this Football Friday night as we are rolling along here. Let me just tell you that we're going to talk about our concession stand of the week with Johnson's Giant Food. Coach Short, you missed tonight. We were up at Piedmont. Wait till you see what you missed tonight. I'll give you a hint. It involved chili tonight.
Chili?
It involved chili tonight on a kind of a cool night.
Okay, was you in the concession stand or back over there behind?
No, this is not the private deal. I was invited to that as well, but this was actually the Piedmont Blue Night Band Booster concession stand on the visiting sideline. So if you're ever over there, you'll want to check this out. So we're going to take you to Piedmont right now, and we're going to have, we've got a little B-roll coming here. There we go. Concession stand of the week, the Piedmont Band Booster Club. Great folks up there tonight taking good care of us. And they're selling what we call the Junkyard Dog. This was the Junkyard Dog combo tonight. And so they're making that up right there. You see right there, there's the chili, Coach. There's the cheese over there. Let's take you to Piedmont right now for the concession stand of the week for the Band Booster Club.
That's the Junkyard Dog with a chili cheese fries in a combo. That's a great combination there.
Don, you got all kind of stuff going on here tonight.
There you go.
Yeah, he needs a fork. All right, so we've got the hot dog, the junkyard dog in there. Then you got chili, you got cheese on the nachos, the jalapenos. And you think you can handle this, Don?
Woo. You know, we're at the Field of Champions, so it's only fitting. This looks like a champion combination meal right here.
All right, dig in, Don. Let's see what it's like. By the way, the folks from the Piedmont Band Boosters will get a $100 gift certificate from Johnson's Giant Food. 5 locations in Etowah and Calhoun County, as Don's going to have to put a fork into this thing to get that junkyard dog, and about to take his first bite here tonight at the Field of Champions.
This is a championship dog right here.
Cheese going everywhere. Fantastic stuff. Come to the visiting sideline here at Piedmont the next time you're at a Piedmont High School football game. Help the Blue Knights Band Boosters and get you a junkyard dog combo here tonight at Piedmont. There it is, the junkyard dog combo, Coach Short. You get the junkyard dog with the chili on there and the cheese, and then you get the nachos. They also have the chili and the cheese and the jalapenos on there. That's called the junkyard dog combo at Piedmont High School. Band Booster concession stand.
You're killing me. I'm hungry now. I might have to go up there and see if I got any left. But it wasn't behind where the, I ain't gonna talk about them. The taco.
Yeah, that's a secret there. Can't
That's
give
a
out
secret there.
that information. They'll be bombarded. They get a $100 gift certificate, courtesy of the folks at Johnson's Giant Food. 5 locations to serve you in East Alabama, 3 in Etowah County, 2 in Calhoun County. Speaking of Etowah and Calhoun County, and Piedmont had an Etowah County team and a Calhoun County team playing at the Field of Champions in Piedmont. Yeah, you had the Piedmont Bulldogs playing host to the Westbrook Christian Warriors tonight. Steve Smith returning for the first time on the visiting sidelines to the Field of Champions at Piedmont. It's really weird to say that. It was even more weird to see that as we take you out to the Field of Champions in Piedmont. This is Steve Smith, the first time, literally, we were there walking onto the field, meeting with the officials on the 50-yard line. Here he is with Piedmont head coach Jonathan Miller, the guy who succeeded him when he left to go. And there it is, right there, the Piedmont Bulldogs. Just a strange thing to see. Piedmont opens up on their first offensive play from scrimmage. Trevor Pike, a 53-yard run all the way down to the Westbrook Christian 4-yard line. And then Mohan with a 4-yard touchdown run. Then we go back to the passing game. Piedmont, that's going to be, I should say, Grayson Carroll. Grayson Carroll with a nice pass out there. And then Carroll again with a 10-yard run. Carroll with another 10-yard run. A 12-yard pass in there to Max Jones in between. Piedmont with a 7-0 lead. And look at the defense with a sack here of Grayson Carroll. This was a dominant performance by the Piedmont Bulldogs. At one time, they led this game 28-7. They go on to win the game 35-19 was the final tonight at the Field of Champions in Piedmont. And, Coach, we were talking about this tonight, our crew was. You know, really the pressure tonight was not on Steve Smith and Westbrook, I don't think, coming back. I think the pressure tonight was on Piedmont for a variety of reasons. The biggest thing is they needed a win. And as far as region play and getting qualified for the playoffs, they needed a win tonight, and they got it over Westbrook Christian.
And you have to give credit to the coaching staff and the players because it was a lot of pressure on them. You know, the guy that's been your coach for 17 years is on the other sidelines, and the pressure was on them. There wasn't pressure on Westbrook. It was on Piedmont, squared on Piedmont's back. You have to give them a lot of credit for coming out, even with a lot of injuries they have themselves. You know, offensively, they had a great night in not having Pinto out there playing. So, but the first thing I noticed was that may be the first time in about 2 years that Coach Smith's had a haircut. I mean, he didn't have his hair, you know.
Yeah, the Piedmont folks may not have recognized
They didn't know who he was.
He may have come incognito tonight without the mullet.
You noticed something else when I first looked at the film. Who was the referee tonight?
Oh, yes.
Jimmy Buckaloo.
I talked with him for
My
a
retiree.
long, we had a long conversation before the game, and he got selected for this very, very important emotional game tonight.
Yeah, and it was good to have him there because, you know, it was just, I've already seen him once this year, and he said, it's not me. We saw him, you know, at Mumford game. I'm just part-time. He's a part-time referee coming back after retiring last year, and they needed some help. But it was good to see his white hair, gray hair, whatever you want to call itself there. I was proud to see him be able to do that game. You needed somebody there like that to do that ball game.
Absolutely. And I want to give credit to both schools. Now, we were only there for about a quarter or so, but from all reports we've received and everything that I saw and witnessed, a very class organization, both sides. Westbrook Christian brought a lot of fans, and they were first class all the way. And the Piedmont fans, a lot of class from the Piedmont fans as well. It was a fantastic environment, great high school football. I did notice a moment there before the game, Coach, where Coach Smith came onto the field, and there's an area down there in front of the dressing room where he, that dressing room was built, when he was there. And so they had the refurbishment and all of that, and he'd come out of that dressing room so many times. And there are a lot of Piedmont fans down there, and he was going down the fence, talking with a lot of the Piedmont fans, that he's known for these 17 years. Just really fantastic. Jonathan Miller, Steve Smith, fantastic coaches, fantastic programs, Westbrook Christian and Piedmont. Total class tonight, all the way around what I saw tonight.
The people that matter, the ones that matter to Steve Smith are going to be the first ones over there to shake his hand, because he helped, along with the community and the administration, give Piedmont 17 great years. And those are memories he'll always have, but now he's with his family making new memories at another school.
And Jonathan Miller on the other side, he's in a tough position too.
Yes.
He needs a big win. There's a lot of hype about this game, and his team came out first play from scrimmage. They rip off almost a touchdown run. They were ready to play. They rip off a 53-yard run all the way down to the 4-yard line, score on the next play, go up 7-0 immediately.
And then he gets to come back next week. That's another story. But he gets to come back next week because he's going to play next Thursday.
That's
because
right.
of his daughter's going to be in the homecoming court.
That's right. They get that good Geraldine team who beat Ohatchee tonight, 55-6, coming into Jack Osmond Memorial Stadium in Rainbow City. Time for our next Red Threads Extra Point of the night as we give you these just extra nuggets about high school football. We've been talking about coaches tonight, Coach. Central Clay County head coach Danny Horn now has the second most wins of any coach in AHSAA history. Horn's win tonight gives him 247 victories in 35 seasons at Central Clay, Benjamin Russell, and the old Clay County High School. Horn only trails UMS Wright Prep head coach Terry Curtis by 4 wins for the most in state history. More of After the Game in just a moment.
After 15 years of supplying top quality, name brand sports equipment and team apparel to hundreds of Alabama schools, coaches, and athletes, and continuing to provide custom uniforms, embroidery, and screen printing, Team Sports is adding a new player. Coming soon, McClellan Sports and Outdoors. Whether you're an athlete in search of football helmets, bats, or even cleats, or an outdoor enthusiast in search of apparel from top brands, McClellan Sports and Outdoors has you covered. Visit McClellansports.com for more information.
I can't imagine life without Gwen, but we came dangerously close.
I was having chest pains.
Luckily, there was a hospital nearby that quickly discovered one of her arteries was 100% blocked. A hospital with life-saving technology and the latest in cardiac treatment, with an experienced team of doctors and nurses focused on fixing Gwen's heart. What hospital had all of that?
It was all right here at RMC.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. A place to use the gifts and talents God has given you. A place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch.
The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
We just showed you our Johnson's Giant Food concession stand of the week with the Piedmont Booster Club. Let's tell you about Johnson's Giant Food. Another big day of college football coming up tomorrow. And the big Alabama-Texas A&M game and a lot more going on. Tailgating, maybe it's high school games. Maybe you're going to tailgate next Friday night at some of those big high school games. They've got everything you need for tailgating. Not only do they have the best meats here in East Alabama, you can go and do that if you want to grill out. But if you don't want to grill out, if you don't want to cook with that, you just want it all pre-prepared, Johnson's Deli, the perfect answer. Smoked meats already prepared, fried chicken, chicken fingers, chicken salad to die for. Everything at Johnson's Giant Food. 5 locations to serve you: East Gadsden, downtown Gadsden, Attala, Coldwater, and also in Jacksonville. And it's time for our Farmers and Merchants Bank Player of the Week. Jordan Bryan of Southside. We were there today for Team of the Week, and we pulled a little double duty. And you see Kristen Lehman there from Team Sports helping present Jordan Bryan with that great jersey, that personalized jersey. He also got a plaque there, courtesy of Awards to Remember and Farmers and Merchants Bank. Let me tell you about Jordan Bryan last week in that come from behind 48-45 overtime win against Boaz. He was 9 of 12. 209 yards, 3 touchdowns, including, with 38 seconds to go in the game, a 35-yard touchdown pass that sent it to overtime that allowed Southside to come from behind and win that game. And by the way, he's the backup quarterback. He's just a junior. Bright days ahead for Southside. He had another big night tonight as Southside pulled off that huge win over the Leeds Green Wave. Back on high school football, Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. Back with Coach Michael Short. Coach, earlier tonight, you were hanging out at that Oxford at the end of that Oxford and Pell City game, so you didn't have a chance to visit with Tommy Miller here on the set. But his team, they won big time tonight as they won 66-29 over Success Unlimited. We're going to look at highlights of this in just a moment, but they're undefeated. And Coach, I think they just might win a state championship.
And going undefeated is hard to do in any sport. And they've got to be setting some kind of school scoring record as far as the number of points. I'd be interested at the end of the year to see if they've set a scoring record for the number of points they put up for a season.
Well, Coach, when I got there, they were kicking the extra point to go at 49-6, and there was still over 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. They had all 66 of their points tonight were in the first half.
Most people think that's easy to score a lot of points, but there's less people on the field, and to me, it's offensively, it's harder to score more points. So to me, it's very impressive at the amount of points that they're scoring. And Coach is always, he's the perfect guy. I mean, he's a class act, and they're a class program, and he's always been that way. I've followed his career for years, and he's always done things the right way. And when you do things the right way, things tend to go your way.
Well, speaking of Tommy Miller, let's take you out now to Tommy Miller Field on the campus of Jacksonville Christian Academy. Homecoming tonight for JCA, and we have the homecoming queen here. We're going to have that crowning of the homecoming queen for JCA. Her name, by the way, is Sam Cash, Samantha Cash. She's a senior there. The way they do it is they have 3 seniors, and they do not announce who the homecoming queen is going to be until the end of the homecoming. They introduce everyone that's out there, and basically there's the crowning right there. You saw the entire homecoming court, and Sam Cash, crowned as the 2023 homecoming queen. As we said, 8:12 to go, 49-6 JCA in control. And we're going to see right here Jace Duncan, a 56-yard touchdown reception on a halfback pass. The 2-point run was no good. That cut the lead to 49-12. But that lasted as long as it took Caleb Stallings to return the kickoff, 66 yards for a touchdown. Another touchdown for JCA. The PAT was good here, and it's 56-12 JCA. Now we're going to see defensive scores coming. This was just too easy. Jack Henry Harris, a 45-yard interception return for the touchdown. The PAT again was good, and it was 63-12. Folks, we're still in the first half. Here's the big quarterback from Success Unlimited, Cameron Harp, with a 14-yard touchdown run. The 2-point run was good, 63-20 at the half. We come back for the second half. Stallings, a 38-yard kickoff return, as kickoff returns were big for JCA in this game. And then Jesse Ganaway, a 33-yard field goal. He's as good a kicker as I have seen this entire year. That was with 19 seconds to go until the half. Another interception right before halftime. Ganaway with the interception after playing and getting that kick there. He also intercepted it on the next possession. Homecoming night, a happy homecoming. JCA 7-0 now, beating Success Unlimited 66-29. Their regular season, coach, comes to an end next week. They have Cornerstone out of Rainsville, and Coach Miller was telling us earlier that he feels like they are the top two teams. They are the top two seeds going into their 4-team playoff. So probably going to play this bunch twice, and the first time will be next week at Tommy Miller Field.
Well, I mean, that's tough right there to play somebody you think you may have to play 2 weeks later. I can only imagine how that is. But you remember a couple of weeks ago when we saw that big running back from Cleveland over at Pleasant Valley? I think we just topped it.
Yep.
That kid right there may be bigger.
He looked like, seeing him in person tonight, Coach, that he was about 6'3" and probably weighed about 245 pounds.
Yeah.
And but hey, JCA had
a good job
had the
taking
answer
down
for him, because when we got there, still 8 minutes to go in the half, and they had only given up 6 points while putting up 49, a prolific offense for JCA. We need to start looking at some regions, Coach. We have not had a chance to look at our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden region rundown as of yet. We're going to begin in Class 3A tonight, 3A Region 6. This region tonight, the thing that really got my attention, one, Piedmont still in this thing with that win tonight. Hoax Bluff, a win, solid win on the road at Plainview tonight. But Geraldine, Coach, 55-6 tonight over Ohatchee.
It wasn't that they won. It was the amount of points is what surprised me, the score. That was very surprising there. And it looks like Sylvania is the cream of the crop right now as far as, 2 weeks ago we were talking about them being a very, very solid football team, and they are. But then that one loss, and they did a great job of coming back from that.
Yeah, and Geraldine, here's the thing. Sylvania's already beaten Geraldine head-to-head.
Mm-hmm.
Their only loss was a non-region game. As you see, they lost to Pisgah last week, who's very good. So the jockeying continues. Westbrook and Plainview with losses tonight, they're kind of fading away just a little bit as far as playoff contention goes. But right now, Piedmont, Ohatchee, Hoax Bluff, Geraldine, Sylvania, and next week some big games coming up, because you've got next week Westbrook taking on Geraldine. That's going to be a big, Ohatchee playing next week. You got that game between Westbrook and Geraldine.
Yeah.
That'll be a Thursday night game. That's a must-win situation as far as the playoff goes for Westbrook Christian. They'll have to win that game against Geraldine coming up next week.
We got to look back at maybe some of those earlier region games. You never know, every game's important. But there may be, and I'm just looking and won't even say, but there were some earlier region games that may be the difference in 3rd and 4th place here before long.
Well, you look at that Ohatchee Westbrook game, that might be a difference between, one of those teams going to the playoffs and one team staying home. There's going to be some good football teams. We've been saying this all year long, that are going to stay at home and not even make the playoffs. And you've got, by my estimation, you probably have 7 of those 8 teams that would be playoff teams in just about maybe in 6 of the 8 regions around the state of Alabama. Class 3A Region 4 now, And, Coach, it's all set up. There are only 2 teams left that are undefeated in region play in this region. That's Randolph County and Walter Wellborn, and that game is next week at Hewlin-Humphrey Stadium in Wedowee. They had a great game last year on the Hill.
Yeah.
We expect another great one down in Wedowee.
The last year's game, everybody went into it expecting just a barn burner, very physical football game, and it was. But last year, the difference in the ball game was probably the quarterback play of Randolph County being able to throw and make some, probably threw for over 100 yards. And I think, again, when it comes down to it this week, both teams can run the football. Both teams are very good up front. Those are probably the 2 most physical 3A offensive lines I've seen, both of them. I've seen them both in person. So it's going to be a great ball game to watch. But you really need to keep an eye on Randolph County's passing game next week. Will that be the difference or not?
And Walter Wellborn, let's just say the Panthers were very impressive tonight. 56-28 against a very much improved Childersburg team. But, Coach, they led 56-12 at one point in the first half of that game.
Yes.
That's probably been the most impressive performance by Wellborn in a couple of years.
Wellborn's early season schedule is starting to show for them now. It's starting to pay dividends now with the people they've played that can run and the speed. They've already seen that. They've already done that.
More scores, highlights, a lot of things still to come. East Alabama Top 10, Team of the Week, and a whole lot more as we roll on this Football Friday night here on After the Game.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
After 15 years of supplying top quality, name brand sports equipment and team apparel to hundreds of Alabama schools, coaches, and athletes, and continuing to provide custom uniforms, embroidery, and screen printing, Team Sports is adding a new player. Coming soon, McClellan Sports and Outdoors. Whether you're an athlete in search of football helmets, bats, or even cleats, or an outdoor enthusiast in search of apparel from top brands, McClellan Sports and Outdoors has you covered. Visit McClellansports.com for more information.
My dad taught me to fish right here years ago. But when an old sports injury started slowing him down, I knew we'd need to search for the latest procedures in knee and hip replacement. With physical therapy tailored to his needs, a dedicated team of doctors and nurses, and he'd want a fast recovery time. So where'd he find all that?
Right here at RMC.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at PeeWeeTurnerMotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
USA Softball of Alabama bringing you our scoreboard each and every week here on High School Football Alabama's After the Game. Great information at usasoftballofalabama.com. They are the national governing body of softball in the United States and here in the state of Alabama. Over 120,000 teams, 1 million across the United States, and they have a great Facebook page as well, USA Softball of Alabama. Keep up with them on Facebook at their Facebook page, and you'll learn all about great tournaments going on, fall tournaments going on all across the state of Alabama. USA Softball of Alabama bringing you our scoreboard here every Football Friday night on After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. John Holder, Coach Michael Short is here with us. We need to tell folks Chad Barnett is off tonight, and for a very good reason. His daughter in the homecoming court out at White Plains this evening.
Yeah, and just texted us and said he's loving the show right now, taking it easy. Yeah, his daughter was in the homecoming court tonight. So, hey, priorities are in the right place to be out there with his daughter.
A special, special night. I've mentioned a couple of times that we were at Southside today presenting our Ted Fords and Beyond Team of the Week and also our Farmers and Merchants Bank Player of the Week. Coach Short, Southside. Talked with Miles Holcomb today. He was telling me about all the injuries that they had and just listing the injuries. He's got 4 guys that are college prospects. They're out. And of course, we know about, Gage Neesmith going out in that Hoax Bluff game. We were there at that game, and he's out for the year. Backup quarterback Jordan Bryan just won our Player of the Week last week. But it has been a incredible performance by Southside, and everybody kind of thought, I think outsiders probably thought that it was going to end tonight. And it did not, even with number 6 Leeds coming to town.
Well, when you get a team that's playing for a purpose, it's hard to beat them. And it seems like right now that it's somewhere during the season, I don't know, and to me it's when Naismith got hurt, that team has just come together. And that happens a lot. Sometimes it can go either way. It can go bad or it can go good. And it looks like they have come together again. A lot of times when you have a team that has a purpose, that it's just hard to beat a team like it.
After the game arrived at halftime at Barney Hood Stadium in Southside. Southside was in control of this game 9-0, and we had a chance to catch up at halftime with Southside head coach Miles Holcomb.
Coach Holcomb, I've showed up at halftime. It's 9-0. What are you wanting to see from your team to finish out the rest of this game?
We got to finish drives. They're falling off blocks a little bit. We're kind of getting on, but they're falling off. I mean, obviously that's what we expected. Like, they're a good football team. So it's a battle. It's going to be a war. We knew that kind of coming into the game.
Sports fans, let's get out those split the pot tickets now.
They do well. It kind of goes against each other, and so it makes for a good matchup.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm going to let you get to your team.
Our very own Bailey Payne catching up there with Southside head coach Miles Holcomb. They were up 9-0 at halftime, and they made that stand up in the second half as we go now to our team sports highlights and take you out to Barney Hood Stadium at Southside. You see the halftime clock winding down, about to begin the third quarter of play with Southside up 9-0. Jordan Bryan going deep, finds number 14, Cody Cooney for the first down. Then on the very next play coming up, you're going to see Bryan. He's going to go deep again. This time finds their top wide receiver, number 0, Caden McMichael, for a Southside touchdown. PAT is good. Panthers celebrating in control of this game as that puts them up 16-0 now in the third quarter at Barney Hood Stadium in Southside. Leeds coming back with the ball. Connor Nelson connecting with Zacchaeus Dell for a first down for the Leeds Greenway. Then on the next play, this is going to be Nelson once again. He finds Dale once again for another Greenway first down as he takes it into the middle of the defense and into the middle of the field for Southside. A few plays later, Nelson calls his own number, punches it into the end zone to put Leeds on the board for the first time in the game. 2-point conversion pass from Nelson falls incomplete, and Southside maintains that double-digit lead at 16-6. Good defensive effort on the goal line on the 2-point by Southside. Look at those uniforms there. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Week, so a little pink there in honor of that on the Southside uniform. Panthers ball, Mason Teague, great running back, direct snap out of the Wildcat, takes it from center, takes it to the house for another Southside touchdown. That puts them up 23-6. They lead it there in the fourth quarter, and they made that stand up 23-13, the final score tonight, as the Southside Crimson Panthers sending shockwaves, Coach Short, through 5A football tonight as they beat Leeds 23-13. This may be the biggest Southside win in maybe 11 or 12 years since they had that semifinal team back about a decade or so ago. Certainly, I think it's the biggest win that Miles Holcomb's had in his third year at Southside.
No doubt, because they beat a team that's been there before. They've beaten a team that's been in the finals. They've won state championships. They know how to win, and that was a big win for them tonight. But I know everybody says offense, but you got to give Coach Bowden credit. That defense is, ever since that injury, they've gotten better and better each week. And, Leeds is a team that can score a lot of points, and they did a great job tonight.
I don't think that Moody is quite as good as they have been last year. And now the way this is setting up, this could be a region title game between Southside and Moody coming up.
Very well could. And the way they're playing defense, and they're playing great defense, is going to give them an opportunity to win that game too.
Absolutely. And, there's a possibility somewhere along the line in the playoffs, they might even get a rematch with Guntersville along the way.
Yeah.
Their only loss was on a goal line stand at the end of the game.
And it would be at Guntersville.
Yeah, or it could be at Southside.
Well, it could be if they're the region champion. They very well could be.
Right now, Southside has played their way into a position where they could very well have home field advantage in the first round of the 5A playoffs.
And very well could. And everybody knows the first round, 89% of the time, the first round team that plays at home wins.
Absolutely. I think we're going to look at some of the 5A regions now that we're talking about 5A football. We're going to go back to our Team 1 Chevy of Gadsden region rundown on this Football Friday night. We'll begin in Class 5A Region 4. We thought that the only team that could challenge Central of Clay County was going to be Valley, Coach, because of their athleticism. And this game was over with quick and early. Clay Central wins tonight over Valley, 47-0. They are firmly in control of Class 5A Region 4.
They've been in control of that region. Coach Herron tonight was texting me, and after the first quarter, he texted me. He said, "Coach, I know what you're going to say, but it's 21-0 already in the first quarter." I said, "Yeah, all those athletes, we're in the wishbone and we're running over people." But yeah, you have to give credit to Central Clay, but I don't think people realize now that Clay was a one-headed monster. Now that running back's back, they're a two-headed monster now.
And we just talked about Southside. No shakeup in 5A Region 4, but a big shakeup in 5A Region 6. Southside and Moody now, the only two teams left that are undefeated. They still have to play each other. Leeds now has a loss. And right now, it's those three teams. Moody still has to play both Leeds and Southside. Leeds and Moody still have to play each other. Southside's now beaten Leeds. They're going to have any head-to-head tiebreaker there against Leeds. Coach, it looks like it's boiling down to this Southside-Moody game.
Do we know, and I know you do, where's that game going to be played?
That game, I believe, is at Moody.
At Moody.
At Moody. So 4-0 Southside, Moody 3-0. And the impressive thing about Southside is they are 6-0 since that loss to Guntersville on a goal line stand. They are 5-0 since they lost their quarterback in that game against Hoax Bluff. Just so impressive all the way around.
Yeah, and again, I keep looking every week at their scores, and they're not giving up a lot of points. So the defense, to me, the defense is leading the pack right now. It's leading the Panthers.
More of high school football Alabama's after the game as we roll on a Football Friday night on Facebook and YouTube.
The Coosa Valley, on the banks of the Coosa River in Gadsden, Alabama. Fishing, boating, and paddling, and home to Team 1 Chevrolet. Team 1 Chevy has been serving generations for years. Even the grandkids are grown. Come by and see why so many people come back to Team 1 Chevy in Gadsden.
Home of the best people, the best service, period.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch.
The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated. Dedicated to what moves you.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ, a place to use the gifts and talents God has given you, a place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Aniston. Visit our website for details.
Just past the midnight hour on High School Football Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. The County Commission, Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, Lee Patterson, supporting schools, recreational sites, some of the greatest recreational sites that we have here in the entire state of Alabama and Calhoun County, and the commissioners invest in all of that. The Chief Ladiga Trail, things like the OPAC and Silver Lakes Golf Course, and the Alabama Scenic River Trail, the Aniston Museum of Natural History, the Calhoun County Sports Hall of Fame. We could go on and on listing the things that the Calhoun County Commission is involved with. The Calhoun County Commission, the presenting sponsor, bringing you High School Football Alabama's After the Game. Back on this Football Friday night, maybe the best game that was played tonight in all of East Alabama was the game at Lamar Field in Oxford. Coach Michael Short was there for the entire game. He stayed till the end to see the thriller. This game was a game of spurts. It started off as a defensive struggle. Then the offenses got cranked up. Pell City scored the first 10. Oxford scored 21 unanswered. Then Pell City scored 15 unanswered before Oxford scores the final and wins the game tonight, 28-25.
It was first of all, it was a great atmosphere. It was a great ball game to be. You know, I know most of the average person thought talent-wise that Oxford would blow them out. That's what they thought. But and I have to real quickly say this. You know, everybody thought we was going to see a game of a lot of penalties because of the stuff that happened in the summer. But both teams played with a lot of class. Both coaches handled their teams very well. Even the fans. I thought it was just a great ball game to be at. You know, they've always talked about, is it a great rivalry? I think it's going to start being an even better rivalry now that the scores are going to start being more better. But it was a great ball game to be at. You had a little bit of everything.
Well, I think this game tonight served notice about where this rivalry is going. So let's take you to Lamar Field in Oxford. Teen sports highlights, Oxford versus Pell City. There you see Lamar Field, a packed house. There's Mason Mims, the quarterback for Oxford Yellow Jackets, warming up there. There's Russ Probst making his re-debut back into Calhoun County. There's Sam Adams of the Oxford Yellow Jackets. There's the Oxford Yellow Jackets coming through the sign. Oxford always has some interesting signs. The lights blinking on and off down at Lamar Field. Pell City right off the bat, they get a quarterback run for the first down. And that's a 15-yard run. Pell City on the move again. Complete for a first down. They complete a pass down the field for the first down. That's Nick Richardson with the pass completion for Pell City. And again, the quarterback going to be brought down by the Oxford defense here after a short game. See Courtney Upshaw, the former University of Alabama star player, now on the coaching staff for the Pell City Panthers, out on the field for Pell City, doing a fine job coaching the Pell City Panthers team. Then we got a new quarterback in the game. This is Nikita Getman-Shook into the game. He has a slide up that sets up a field goal, and the field goal is good by Pell City as they take a lead 3-0. This held up for a long time in the game. Oxford's going to come out. Mason Mims at quarterback. He's going to look for Jaden Thomas here. Finds Thomas out in the flat, break a couple of tackles, and gets the first down. This again, Mims going again outside to Jaden Thomas. But this is hammered out of bounds by the Pell City defense. A nice tackle over there by the Pell City defense. Pell City is going to get the ball back once again on offense. And the new quarterback in the game, Getman-Shook, tries to go deep. Ball is batted away, and it's incomplete. Oxford trying to find some offense. This is Mason Mims going to swing it out as they're looking for Nick Richardson. He falls down, met by the Panther defense, and this is Mims once again trying to go deep. The pass broken up. Good defense by Pell City. 3-0 Pell City going to the second quarter when we left, but all kind of fireworks after that. Oxford wins at the end of the game. Coach, take us through the end of the game. Pell City led this game 25-21, and Oxford had to overcome a lot of obstacles at the end of the game to win this thing. Tell us how the last minute or two of the game, how that came down.
To get to that last minute, I don't think it would have never have happened if Oxford hadn't had that last minute or a half, 2-minute drive right before the half to get a touchdown, to cut it to 10-7, and then come out and get the ball first, and had a 7-minute drive to start the third quarter for a touchdown to go up 14-10. And then it just starts coming back and forth. Yeah, great plays. What you've got is you've got great plays out of great players. And you were looking for the players on both sides to make those great plays. But, you know, Pell City went ahead with a Gross that had like a 70 to 80-yard run for a touchdown to put them ahead, and it got real quiet. It was quiet in the stands, but it wasn't quiet on the Oxford sidelines. That was a very impressive drive for them to be behind because, you know, have to look, last week they had a gut-wrenching loss. You know, and to lose the way they did after having a lead and lose that lead and to lose that ball game, you have to give them a lot of credit for coming back and having an 80-plus yard drive to win a ball game there at the end. I mean, they had a 4th and 6 from their own 38-yard line, and I actually texted you that. I said, this could be the ball game right here. Mason Mims got everybody spread out. He scrambles, gets the first down. Big play with his feet. So, you know, he made that great play. And then they come down and right there down on the goal line, they made another great pass play and a great catch. And then it come down to right there that Pell City had like a 7 or 8 yard sack right there, but it had too many people on the field. It had 12 men on the field. So it was called back, goes down the 2-yard line, and Oxford punched it in. But then you got, and we waited about 10 minutes down there. It seemed like there at the end you kept saying, final, final. I can't, because they stood out there on the field for about 3 minutes trying to figure out, you know, what's this going on, what's that going on. No, there's never no penalty, no flags thrown, but they got an untimed down. So they had one more pass to throw through the end zone. So everybody was standing on their feet. Just another great ball game out of 2 great teams. 2 great coaching staffs. I give credit to both sides for having a great ball game tonight. That's probably one of the top games that's been played there in a while.
Coach, some takeaways from tonight. First takeaway is, I'll tell you this rivalry, I think tonight was a preview of what we're going to see over the next several years from Oxford and Pell City.
No, there's no doubt, because eventually, you know, tonight, Pell City's still trying to figure out the puzzle, getting the players in the right place. That's evident by putting Gross at wide receiver, running back, quarterback. He plays everywhere. And Oxford's still sitting there trying to figure out, where's this guy going to be? So I think Oxford defense came through when they had to. Their offense came through when they had to. But you're right. It's just now starting. The rivalry is just now budding.
Coach, another couple of takeaways, and this concerns the coaches and the programs. And I'm like you, give credit to both sides. First thing with Sam Adams from Oxford. Last year, maybe the year before that, Oxford might not have won this game. But the maturity of the program, the coaching staff, the confidence that they developed this year, Oxford wins a game like this, where maybe in past years they would have lost a game like this. And you have to give, especially after the way they lost last week up at Hartselle, you have to give a lot of credit to Sam Adams and his staff for his team winning this football game.
Well, the thing is a lot of times you got to hope that the expectations within your team are higher than the expectations of everybody outside. You know, everybody outside is expecting Oxford to do great, but if those team players, those kids within the huddle don't have those expectations, it's not going to happen. So they have to have it, and that was proved to me tonight with an 80-yard drive there to win the game, and that's what they did.
And if there was any doubt, and I can't believe I have run into people throughout this year and in the summer who actually doubted that Rush Propst could get it done at Pell City. Those people are insane. I'll just tell you that right now. Coach, Rush Propst tonight, probably more than any other game, served notice that Pell City is going to be a contender. They are going to be a tough team to handle in 6A football in the years to come.
And that's good for 6A football. It's good for Oxford. It's good for Pell City, for both teams to be good. And to have those type of games. You don't want to go to a game when they get blown out. And people will question the way that Oxford may do things or the way that Pell City may do things. Yeah, Pell City stayed last night in a hotel. They're in Oxford. And people question that, but do they question Thompson and Auburn and Enterprise and all those other people that do the same thing? And for all the people out there that said they missed school today, no, they didn't. They had an in-service, so the kids weren't in school anyway. So that's why they stayed in Oxford and did those things. But, you know, that's just the way they do it. There's nothing wrong with the way Oxford does it or nothing wrong with the way Pell City does it. It's just the way they skin their cat.
Well, I'll tell you this, final takeaway for talking about these two teams. Oxford's not going anywhere. They're coming. Pell City, they're not going anywhere. They're coming. Going to be an interesting future in this Class 6A region. Mm-hmm. Speaking of the 6A region, let's go to our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden region rundown. 6A Region 6. It's the showdown. It's coming. Everybody's been talking about it. Clay Chalkville in Oxford. It will be at Lamar Field in Oxford. And for all intents and purposes, that will be for the region title. But, Coach, Pell City has got a chance to get into the playoffs in Rush Propst's first year at the helm because Centerpoint, who he's already beaten, beat Shades Valley tonight. Yeah. That's a winnable game. The Huffman game is a winnable game. If he can win those two games, Coach, he's going to be in the playoffs.
He's got a good opportunity to get there. And I know for the people that watch scores, they saw the Clay Chalkville Pell City score. It wasn't close. So a lot of people would think, well, Clay Chalkville's just going to run through Oxford. Guys, go back. Oxford's pretty much got the same people they had. Clay Chalkville's got a lot of new people, and they got a lot of 5 stars and 4 stars all over the place. But last year, Oxford played them to a 4-point ball game.
4-point game. I'm holding up 4 fingers here. A 4-point game last year at Clay. So there you go. 6A Region 8, this is like, Gadsden City is like Clay Central in this aspect. They are not going to be challenged in their region. Gadsden City tonight against Hazel Green, 69-0 at Titan Stadium. Just like last year, Gadsden City is just head and shoulders above everybody else in this region.
They are, and I think actually this year, by talking to their coach, and I think they may have a more chance to go deeper into the playoffs this year than they have before.
I agree. I think they're a better football team this year. That's our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden Region Rundown. We will be back with more as we've got more highlights. We've got our East Alabama Top 10 Team of the Week all coming up on After the Game.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch.
The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you. But when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated.
Dedicated.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
There's a lot to think about when you're having a baby. Colors of the nursery, names, and most importantly, where to deliver.
We want a hospital that gives families a more personalized birthing experience.
With a compassionate team of doctors and nurses, and a hospital where my baby and I can instantly bond with all the comforts of home.
So where do we find all that?
Right here at RMC, the first designated baby-friendly hospital in Alabama.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at peeweeturnermotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
We are back on high school football. Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. John Holder, Michael Short, Chad Barnett is off tonight. Our entire hard-working team with us all the way into the night as we have now reached into Saturday here at the RMC Media Center at Parker Memorial Baptist Church in Midtown Anniston. Big game tonight for Walter Welborn and Childersburg out on the hill at Walter Welborn. Much improved Childersburg team. Welborn trying to win a region title. A big game. I know Jeff Smith didn't mention this, but he had a chance tonight to become the guy with the most wins in Welborn history as far as coaches go. And they've had some great coaches. Mike Battles, his coach, Ed Dupree. We go down through the years with all the great coaches they've had, including Jeff Smith in that as well. And so this was an important game tonight in a lot of ways for Walter Welborn.
And it was special for him. He would never tell you that, but it was special for him because that's where he's from. He played on the hill. So it's very special to be able to go back and coach where you played at. Believe me, I know. And it's very special. Congratulations to him on that win tonight.
Team sports highlights now. We're going to take you out to the hill at Walter Welborn. Walter Welborn and Childersburg, a key matchup. Look at Welborn. Not even halftime, and they're already ahead 48-12 as the second quarter is winding down. Less than 5 minutes to go until halftime. And the Panthers, when we arrive, already have it in control. This is Childersburg's Chris Swain. Scrambles, and then out of nowhere, he's going to be met by a whole host of Panthers and slung to the ground. So Welborn takes over on downs, and we're going to see their quarterback, Noah Screws. He hands it off, and that's going to be Jabari Williams. You'll hear his name a lot if you're a Welborn fan this year. Finds a hole, gets 15 yards before being brought down. Then here we go again. This is Jabari Williams. Takes a lick from the Tiger defense, keeps on ticking. And again, here's Williams once again, runs it in for the Panther touchdown. And then a two-point conversion. Kyle Bright right here. There's Kyle Bright. Two-point conversion, runs over a Childersburg defender into the end zone. And that takes it to 56-12. There you see the most wins in Welborn history belong to that man, Jeff Smith. Third quarter, Childersburg looking for a spark. This is Swain getting out there again to Xavion Garrett, trying to get a completion. They do and get a good gain. And then it's Swain once again looking for an open man. Nobody there. Runs over a Panther defender before going out of bounds. Now, this is Swain in the Garrett matchup once again. Finds Garrett on the sidelines. Makes a man miss. Tigers marching down the field. Here we go. Swain once again scrambling. Once again gets real close to the end zone. Tries to stretch it right here at the very end to get it across, but they mark him short. But then Swain again on the 1-yard line, runs it in for a Tigers touchdown. Then he's going to run it in again for a 2-point conversion here for Childersburg. Very impressive play by Swain, but it is way too little, way too late. 56-20 Wellborn midway through the third quarter. Wellborn has it on cruise control by this point in time, and they go to 4-2, undefeated in region play in Class 3A Region 4 as they beat Childersburg tonight, 56-28.
You know, the thing it is Coach Smith would never say this, but you got to not only congratulate him, but all the guys that have coached with him and all the players that have played for him, that have been a part of winning those games. You got to congratulate them too. They're just as important and just a big part of it. But God, I can't help but think next week. Because the thing about Randolph County is they like to play that physical style of football game. A lot of people defensively can't do that because they're used to spreading out and throwing it all over the field and tackling people in open space. When you tackle somebody from Wellborn and when you tackle somebody from Randolph County, you better be ready because they're going to bring it. They know how to play physical football. Next week at Randolph County at Ron Waters Field, it's going to be an explosion of people.
And let me just tell you this. Randolph County is going to be in the same position Wellborn was tonight because Pat Prestridge, with that win tonight at Sachs, he tied Ron Waters. He has a chance to do what Jeff Smith did tonight. If he can beat Wellborn, not only probably winning the region title, but he'll also have the most wins of any coach in Randolph County history. And it's amazing because, you know, our good friend Ron Waters, I don't know that we ever thought anybody would ever, you know, approach the wins that he's had, but Pat Prestridge has done such a great job. 2 different stints at Randolph County. This is not just one, but 2 different stints, and now he has a chance at some point this season, whether it's next week or later on this season, he has a chance to become the wins leader all time in Randolph County history.
I'm just sitting here thinking about, because last week I was down there watching them, and I got to see Coach Waters, Ron Waters, Mike Battles.
Oh, wow.
Jeff Smith, Pat Prestridge. I got to play with all of them. I got to be out there competing against all 4 of those guys. 2 of them are Hall of Famers. The other 2 are probably heading that way. Man, what an atmosphere it'll be next week down at Ron Waters Stadium.
Exactly right. Hugh and Humphrey Stadium, Ron Waters
Field.
Ron Waters Field, Hugh and Humphrey Stadium down in Wedowee. Let's go back now and take a look at our Team 1 Chevy of Gadsden region rundown. We're going to move to Class 2A. BB Comer is coming down to BB Comer in Thorsby, but I'll tell you, Coach, after BB Comer's impressive win at Isabella tonight, I'm not sure that the Thorsby Rebels want any of BB Comer.
No, I'm going to tell you what it's coming down to. BB Comer, real town in the playoffs. That's what it's going to come down to.
Well, Highland home tonight.
Yes, that's
Highland
right.
home tonight.
Flying Squadron.
When you go in and beat Luverne 60-0,
yes.
State-ranked Luverne 60-0, you've done something. Let's go now and look at Class 2A Region 6, and it looks like it's coming down in this region between Southeastern and Locust Fork, but again, I'm not sure that Southeastern wants a whole lot of Locust Fork. This is a very good Locust Fork team, ranked in the top 10 in the state. They beat Pleasant Valley tonight, 61-6. Thing about this is, Southeastern was not a school until about, 10 years or so ago. They're in RimLap. The reason Locust Fork dropped from 4A to 2A all of a sudden is because Southeastern was a junior high that fed into Locust Fork. They made that into a high school. So all those kids from RimLap and Southeastern that used to go to Locust Fork, they no longer go to Locust Fork now. They stay home and go to Southeastern. So this is a big rival game as well because these 2 schools basically used to be together.
Yeah, and when I always think of Locust Fork, I have a hard time thinking that they're 2A. Because I remember playing them in the setting. We set a Cleveland County record one night, Rocky Hayes, and we scored 70, but we also give up 40. So, you know, that was an unbelievable night that we had with them, but it's just hard for me to think that. Because of that, Locust Fork still has that mindset of being a 4A school. So to me, they've kind of dropped down. Yeah, I know they've lost players, but to me, that's going to be, they're going to have the advantage because they've been bigger in Southeastern, still trying to get up. You know, they started at 2A. Was that what they started at? Or
Southeastern, yeah. Well,
yes.
1A, then 2A.
1A, then 2A.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now Pleasant Valley. When we mentioned the Raiders, even though they had a big loss tonight, Pleasant Valley still certainly very much in contention for a playoff berth there. Even a home field advantage. They play Southeastern. If they can beat Southeastern, they would probably be the runner-up and have home field advantage in the playoffs.
If you remember, Coach, sitting here that night, he said, if we can stay healthy, we got a chance to host a home playoff game. They got to get healthy.
Calhoun County Quarterback Club, great friends of high school football here in the Calhoun County area. They have a great lineup of speakers, and that's going to continue as we move through the season. And that's going to continue this week. Our friend Mark Jones, the former head of officials for the Alabama High School Athletic Association, Mark is going to be the guest speaker. Always great information from Mark Jones. Then you got John Hanna, the former Alabama and NFL lineman, one of the greatest linemen, if not the greatest offensive lineman of all time, right here at Anniston. Trent Dilfer, who had an interesting sideline in the Tulane game with UAB this week. And then you've got John Cohen, the athletics director at Auburn, will be in town on October 30th. A big lineup coming up in October. For membership information, not too late to get involved. Contact Kevin Gibson, 453-4886. And our next extra point of the night, presented by Red Threads, Saxon Weaver have met 45 times since 1973. The Wildcats and Bearcats have met every year but 4 in the last 50 seasons. The only years the two schools did not play came in the 1998 to 2001 seasons. Sax leads the series 25-21, and they have won 6 straight in the series. The Wildcats and Bearcats meet for the 46th time next Friday at Bill Bryan Stadium in Weaver. Back with more of After the Game.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. A place to use the gifts and talents God has given you. A place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
After 15 years of supplying top-quality, name-brand sports equipment and team apparel to hundreds of Alabama schools, coaches, and athletes, and continuing to provide custom uniforms, embroidery, and screen printing, Team Sports is adding a new player. Coming soon, McClellan Sports and Outdoors. Whether you're an athlete in search of football helmets, bats, or even cleats, or an outdoor enthusiast in search of apparel from top brands, McClellan Sports and Outdoors has you covered. Visit McClellanSports.com for more information.
The Coosa Valley, on the banks of the Coosa River in Gadsden, Alabama. Fishing, boating, and paddling, and home to Team One Chevrolet. Team One Chevy has been serving generations for years. Even the grandkids are grown. Come by and see why so many people come back to Team One Chevy in Gadsden.
Home of the best people, the best service, period.
Team One Chevrolet of Gadsden bringing you our region rundown. We'll go through the 4A regions in just a moment. 0% financing on new 23 Silverados LDs plus no payment for 90 days, 2.1% financing. As we said, no payment for 90 days on a new Equinox, a Blazer, a Trailblazer, a Traverse. Low finance rates can save you thousands of dollars in finance charges, and you will not have a payment due until after New Year's. Team One Chevy, 413 East Megan Boulevard in East Gadsden. Remember, they have a full body shop approved by all the major insurance companies. No hassle, no getting multiple estimates, and they still have got Auburn and Alabama tailgate packages to be given away in November, the week of the Iron Bowl. We are back on High School Football Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. John Holder, Coach Michael Short with us tonight. Special night on the Creek Bank at Ohatchee, a guy that I knew well, a guy that you knew well, a legend in Ohatchee. Obviously, we're talking about Calhoun County Sports Hall of Fame inductee, the late Reagan Clark. The stadium tonight being named in his honor out at Ohatchee. Now, the Roy Owens Field is not going anywhere, just naming the stadium for Reagan Clark.
It had to be a special night for their family. Reagan Clark meant so much, not just Ohatchee, but just football coaches in general. I took stuff from him. Coach Probst got started under Coach Clark. A lot of what he does, the way he coaches, the way he gets after it is the same way that Coach Clark was. So, when I think of Coach Clark, I think of people like Tim McTaggart and people like that over the years. It just had to be a special night for them out there.
Well, we're going to take you out to the Creek Bank at Ohatchee. In the pregame, you see Bill Clark there, his son, the entire Clark family, Tony, his other son, Barbara, his late wife, were there. You see the plaques and all of that there at Ohatchee. And when we had a chance to catch up with Bill Clark.
Coach Clark, what does this mean? What does this honor mean to your family? And what did your dad mean to Ohatchee?
Number one,
yeah, just
Ed
a
Hernandez.
huge honor and so appreciative to
At quarterback, the senior. Number 4, Jackson Colvin.
Just everybody here, and this is just great
At running
memories for my
back, senior.
family.
Number 8, Kobe Hill.
Yes.
Yeah, the younger Coach Clark, know him very well as well. He and I were friends all the way back down in elementary school, and Coach, I know, big honor for Bill and Tony tonight as well.
Oh, yeah, because now his legacy will be carried on forever because of what all he did for the community there in Ohatchee. And think of the lives that he touched while he was the coach there that will go on forever and ever and ever.
Absolutely. Big night at Ohatchee before the game. That was before the game started. Things did not go Ohatchee's way. They ran into a buzzsaw called the Geraldine Bulldogs. Team sports highlights coming up as we take you to Reagan Clark Stadium at Ohatchee, Roy Owens Field. There's the coin toss there between Ohatchee and Geraldine, and Geraldine's first snap of the game. And there he goes, number 22, Carlos Mann, 41 yards to the house for a touchdown. Remember that name, Carlos Mann, one of the best 3A running backs in the state. PAT no good, bounces off the field goal over there, and it was 6-0 Geraldine. There's Coach Chris Finley, Ohatchee head coach, on the sidelines. Geraldine with the ball again, and guess what? It's Carlos Mann in the end zone once again, having a huge season for Coach Michael Davis and the Geraldine Bulldogs with another long touchdown run. This time the PAT is good, and that puts Geraldine up 13-0. Coach Finley trying to get something going on his defense. Guys, we got to do something to handle Carlos Mann. Geraldine's third possession of the first quarter. This time it's the quarterback, Jackson Colvin. He's going to take it to the end zone for another long Bulldog touchdown. The extra point is good once again. Geraldine leads it now 20-0 after this extra point by the Geraldine Bulldogs. And it was all Geraldine as they win the game tonight. They named the stadium for Reagan Clark, but tonight it was all Geraldine. Number 9 Bulldogs get a huge win in Class 3A Region 6 as they beat the Indians 55-6 tonight. Coach on the Creek Bank.
I know they got a weapon because I just sitting here watching him kick, and most of those kicks probably went over that concession stand because I know he hit the first one, he hit the upright, but they were high and they were long because they went out of the picture. So you got that kind of kicker, I'm sure he kicks off too, so you're always going to start inside your 20.
I had been hearing a lot about Carlos Mann all year long. I'll get to see him Thursday night at Westbrook in person. As we said, one of the best running backs in 3A football in this state, Carlos Mann of the Geraldine Bulldogs. All right, now we've got more regions to talk about. We're going to begin now in 4A as we go to our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden region rundown. Class 4A Region 4, Hanley, Coach, is it over in Class 4A Region 4?
Yes. For first place, it is. Yes,
for
without
first
a doubt.
place.
It's over for first place.
Jacksonville's still in good. They've got the head-to-head now. Look at Jacksonville. They have already beaten Cleburne County and Anniston head-to-head. They get Munford next week. Cleburne County certainly still alive. Jacksonville certainly in the driver's seat for home field advantage. Now what you've got going on is you've got, in essence, White Plains not eligible. Talladega's 0-3. So you got 2 playoff spots with Cleburne County, Anniston, and Munford battling for those. Anniston's already beaten Munford. And so basically what you got going on here is 3 teams battling for 2 spots.
Yeah, and most people, just to be honest with you, now that White Plains doesn't count, Cleburne County's looking at coming in there at 4th is what they're looking at. Probably is what everybody coaches are looking there.
Cleburne County's got that head-to-head over Munford, and that's going to be big.
But you still got Anniston and Cleburne County. You never know that ball game will be a very large ball game for who will get 3rd.
And so that's now we go to Class 4A Region 6. Cherokee County. Aniana with a big win tonight. Aniana won that scoring shootout over Etowah. Now Aniana has beaten Fultondale and Etowah head-to-head. So Aniana's only region loss to Cherokee County. So it looks like, again, the top 2 in this region will be Cherokee County and Aniana. And then you got Fultondale, Etowah. Fultondale's already beaten Etowah head-to-head. And Etowah's beaten Good Hope. So it kind of looks like it may be Cherokee County, Aniana, Fultondale, Etowah. That top 4 may stay that way. That may be your 4 that are in the state playoffs out of Class 4A Region 4.
And might see Aniana and Cherokee County play again.
Oh, that's exactly right. It happened last year.
We watched it.
Bobby Joe Johnson Field on Thanksgiving. Will be a little bit later this year. Will be the first weekend in December, possibly, if they meet again. But that's Class 4A Region 6 in our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden Region Rundown. Hey, we've still got Team of the Week, and we still have the East Alabama Top 10. All of that coming up on After the Game.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed Vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
The Coosa Valley, on the banks of the Coosa River in Gadsden, Alabama. Fishing, boating, and paddling, and home to Team 1 Chevrolet. Team 1 Chevy has been serving generations for years. Even the grandkids are grown. Come by and see why so many people come back to Team 1 Chevy in Gadsden.
Home of the best people, the best service, period.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at peeweeturnermotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welber Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
Our last Red Threads Extra Point is coming up in just a couple of moments. Red Threads powered by O-Brand. They have officially licensed JSU apparel, local high school team wear, custom apparel as well. They provide the T-shirts, all the T-shirts that we give out, muscle team shirts, our Anniston Orthopedic Score shirts, our Grub Mart muscle team shirts, as we said. They do all of those. They have great JSU merchandise. If you're going to the Liberty game, a lot of folks excited about that game with Liberty coming up Tuesday night at JSU Stadium. Go early, go to their storefront on the square in Jacksonville and check out Red Threads powered by O-Brand. It is time now, Coach, for our awards to remember. East Alabama Top 10. Not a lot of changes. Everything kind of holding pat except for one change, actually two changes. We'll begin number 10, Coosa Christian. We left them in there. They had an open date tonight, and we left them in at number 10. Number 9, this is where a change was made. I dropped Oxford. Oxford was a big favorite over Pell City, and they had a tough time tonight. So not so much that Oxford didn't perform well, but I'm going to show you who I switched them with, and you'll understand why. Number 8, the Moody Blue Devils. They won tonight at Springville. The team that I swapped Oxford and Southside, because I tell you, Southside tonight, they really, not that Oxford deserved anything to fall, but Southside deserved to move up. And that big win tonight over Leeds, Southside needed to be higher, got them at number 7. Number 6 in our East Alabama Top 10, Jacksonville. And then our top 6 actually remains unchanged. Number 5, Hanley, that huge win tonight over Anniston. Number 4, Randolph County, come into sacks and win. Number 3, Central of Clay County, huge win over Valley. Number 2, Cherokee County had an open date tonight, didn't play. Number 1, BB Comer. Woo, I said way back week 1 or 2, they would be hard to not be at number 1 the rest of the year. They won at Isabella big time tonight, 47-16. Coach, your thoughts on this top 10?
When is the state going to give that group right there some love in the top 10?
They were still at
they got some points.
Number 11.
Yeah, 11. Yeah. But they're higher than that, but they'll get a chance next week.
I love our sports writer guys. I love them, but I'm going to tell you, Randolph County is going to make you guys look a little silly come playoff time, because this is going to be a team that's going to make some noise, the Randolph County Tigers in Class 3A. Let's tell you about awards to remember. Awards to remember. They provide our Tough Guy Trophy for our Team of the Week. By the way, that announcement's coming up. They also provide our plaque for our Farmers and Merchants Bank Player of the Week. And they are the preeminent dealer in sports awards all across East Alabama. Plaques, trophies, medals, all types of awards. Go to awardstορemember.com. Even better, go to their showroom right there on Alabama Highway 144 in Ohatchee, 4017 Alabama Highway 144. Check those things out in person. 892-2500, the number to call. We promised you one more Red Threads Extra Point of the night, and we've got that coming your way before we have our announcement of Team of the Week coming up. And we'll go to that in just a minute. It's like the little engine that could. We're trying to climb. I don't think we're going to have it. We'll have it coming up for you next. We'll take a break, and we'll have our last extra point, and we will have Team of the Week.
After 15 years of supplying top-quality, name-brand sports equipment and team apparel to hundreds of Alabama schools, coaches, and athletes, and continuing to provide custom uniforms, embroidery, and screen printing, Team Sports is adding a new player. Coming soon, McClellan Sports and Outdoors. Whether you are an athlete in search of football helmets, bats, or even cleats, or an outdoor enthusiast in search of apparel from top brands, McClellan Sports and Outdoors has you covered. Visit McClellansports.com for more information.
I can't imagine life without Gwen, but we came dangerously close.
I was having chest pains.
Luckily, there was a hospital nearby that quickly discovered one of her arteries was 100% blocked. A hospital with life-saving technology and the latest in cardiac treatment, with an experienced team of doctors and nurses focused on fixing Gwen's heart. what hospital had all of that?
It was all right here at RMC.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. A place to use the gifts and talents God has given you. A place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch. The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
We are about to announce our Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. Ted's Floors and Beyond. Why is it Beyond? Because they now offer cabinets from Welborn Cabinet. They are now a place where you can get a complete kitchen or bathroom makeover. A large selection of products, including hundreds of in-stock items. They not only have the hardwood, laminate, tile, carpet, but they also have now cabinets and countertops. 0% financing for 12 months, all day, every day, and free in-home estimates. Follow them on social media and also at shopteds.com. Back on after the game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission, High School Football Alabama. John Holder, Michael Short here on this Football Friday night, Saturday morning now, as a matter of fact. Let's take a look now at our final regions, our region rundown, presented by Team 1 Chevy of Gadsden, 1A Region 6. Wadley had an open day, didn't play. Spring Garden got a big win tonight at TCC. Ragland, very impressive over Victory Christian. Winterboro, Donahoe. Really, the only two teams out of this thing, as far as playoff goes, is Donahoe and TCC.
Yeah, it's going to be, it's a wild race down to the end. I think, Winterboro's win last night gives them a great opportunity to get into the playoffs somehow, somewhere.
Class 1A Region 7, as we go to the north, Coosa Christian, in case you're wondering about the Conquerors, they did not play tonight. They've got some work to do. They basically have to win every region game the rest of the way. Decatur Heritage had a big win tonight over Appalachian, so they're now in control. We also had Valley Head with a big win over Cedar Bluff tonight, but again, it looks like Woodville, Valley Head, Appalachian, Decatur Heritage, but look out for Coosa Christian to make a big run here, and we'll see what happens and see if they can squeeze into the state playoffs.
Well, I know they're excited. They're kind of going to get a new start, and if they can win the rest of their region ball games, they could end up being fourth, and then going an untypical number 4 team coming to play a region champion out of Region 6 in the first round, which right now looks like it's going to be the Wadley Bulldogs. Let's go now to our final extra point of the night, presented by Red Threads. And here it is, Coosa Christian High School. You wonder what we've been talking about. Coosa Christian High School's varsity football program has been fined
for playing some ineligible players in violation of the AHSAA transfer rule. And as a result, Coosa Christian's program fined must forfeit all games won that the ineligible students participated in. Those games include all 5 games played by Coosa Christian this season through September 22nd. Remember, they had an open date tonight. The forfeited games include wins over non-region opponents Spring Garden. If we get into a tiebreaker, that'll be big. Wins over Class 1A Region 7 opponents Galesville, Decatur Heritage, and Valley Head. And, of course, they had a loss to Geraldine. So that's our final Red Threads Extra Point. Time now for our Ted's Floor and Beyond, the big announcement of the night as we wrap things up. It is time now for our Team of the Week announcement. This team needed a victory. They needed a victory in region play. They had their former legendary football coach returning back to their home stadium to play. A lot of emotion around this game, a lot of injuries for this team as well, a lot of adversity, a lot of pressure to win, and the Piedmont Bulldogs overcame all that adversity, and Piedmont tonight winning over Westbrook Christian 35-19. They will get the Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week trophy, the Anniston Orthopedic score shirts, and the TED shirts. Congratulations to Coach Jonathan Miller and the Piedmont Bulldogs, the Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. We will see you next Friday night on After the Game.
High School Football Alabama Scoreboard is a production of Fairfax Garden Media.